Hi guys, welcome back. I just sent the link to everybody, so hopefully they'll be hopping on.
Okay.
Alright, we're live.
We were talking about you when you left on the other one. So you...
Oh, I'm sure. That's why I kicked y'all out. Don't you know?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I hate when YouTube does that, but you know, it is what it is. Thanks guys for coming back. Is my sound okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
You're good.
Sorry, Jennifer. She got stuck on the phone. She came back and everybody was gone. We didn't mean to ditch you, I promise. Yeah, I have whenever before I had some new stuff on the side and now it's gone again, so I don't know. No problem, Jennifer.
I didn't think you were gone that long, were you?
No.
That it would have shut you down?
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I don't know what's that about.
Dad just shut it down.
Huh.
I was lost. I had it playing on my computer.
I just didn't think you were gone that long. Hey, Tara.
Hey, Nikki.
No, I was right back, but it just shut it off.
Huh.
Yeah, but you were back for a while, weren't you? And then, I mean, maybe it's just acting goofy today.
Must be.
Yeah, I don't know what was up with it. Ding, 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 ding.
Hey guys.
Oh, he sold a steering wheel.
All right. Hey, I got a video recommendation. If you watch that Glitter Bomb,
Weren't they talking about it?
I think I heard about. Yeah, but I seen it somewhere else. I seen the ad pop up. But anyway, so then when you get somebody mentioned on the thing, I watch it. But I mean, look at the people who are stealing this stuff off people's porches. They're clean, nicely dressed, normal-looking people, and when they get them in their houses, they're a nice, clean, nice place. I mean, there's just absolutely no reason other than they're getting their jollies or whatever to be committing this kind of thievery. I think they should be skinned alive.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't even think about doing that. I mean, last night we went and bought a couch and recliner, and the guy had to go out of town, and it was like 2 hours south of us, and we paid $300 for it. And I'm like, well, I don't feel comfortable leaving $300 cash, so I picked up the couch and chair, and then he told me to put it in his truck and lock his truck. I mean, I'd be like, oh, I don't know, because he left the furniture in front of his garage so he could pick it up. I mean, he was like super trusting, like, you know, that we would leave the money, pick up the furniture, which we did, of course, because we don't steal. But when I was driving home, I'm like, wow, that is amazing that somebody would let you pick this up and say, okay, we'll just leave this $300 cash in in the truck.
And I think
it's
awesome.
not very.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I would do it. Honestly, I wouldn't do it.
But honestly, it's the way the world should work. I mean, but you get people, these shortcut dips. I mean, I can't even think of it. I couldn't even think of a word I could say in public that would describe what I'm thinking about those people. I mean, that is just so awful.
Yeah.
Why would you go on somebody's porch and take something that was delivered to them? I mean, to me, that is like you are the lower than whale poop on the bottom of the ocean.
Crunchy.
Actually, whale poop doesn't sink; it floats.
And it's worth a lot of money if you find it, but you can't sell it.
No, that's it. No, that's something else. That's like
that's
barf
that
or
stuff
something.
they
It's like
up.
a bile, yeah.
Oh,
it's that stuff they make perfume out of.
They make
or whatever.
perfume out of. It's like some kind of stinky wad that I guess they
got real
puke
weird
out
name,
or whatever.
If you watch Bob's Burgers, there's a whole episode about it.
I thought it was the actual poop.
No, I think it's something they barf. I think it's something that comes out of like their pancreas. It's something they puke like bile or something that gets hard.
All right.
That's just.
But anyway, it's super valuable though. And
they make perfume out of it.
And actually now it's a controlled substance because of whaling.
You know what else they make perfume out of? Bat poop. Because down the road I live on, there used to be this thing called the Bat House. This guy made this big thing so wild bats would go in there and nest, and then he would collect their feces and then sell it to perfume making companies.
It's got some kind of, it's not the odor, it's the clinging quality. It's like, I know that like skunk glands, animals that have glands, they'll take the something in their glands makes the aroma stick to your skin. And that's what they're looking for in the perfume. They don't actually use the part that smells. They use the part that has like the holding power. So when you put on the perfume, it doesn't, like when the alcohol evaporates, it's gone. The aroma remains. And that's what they're using that stuff for, I guess.
The ambergris from whales is a preservative too.
Oh.
So
That's the
perfume
stuff.
would last longer in the bottle, retain its smell using the whale fat ambergris.
Do they spit it up, Todd,
I don't know if they spit it up, but it was
or poop it out?
highly
have to know.
prized in the whaling days. That chunk of fat was worth as much as the whole rest of the whale.
Yeah, and sometimes I guess they spit it up or something because sometimes people find it floating or whatever. But it's like because it's a whale part, it's protected. You can't.
Yeah,
Like,
and they were
sell it.
having they were having people kill whales just for that one thing. They would go in, they cut out that what Todd said, and they would leave the whole dead
Like
whale. You know,
poachers.
that's all they wanted. Yeah, because like Todd said, it was worth as much as the whole whale.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's like just taking the computer out of your car and then scrapping the rest of it because the computer's worth more than the dead
Oh my
car.
God. You guys see that?
What?
I'm like my goosebumps. I'm freezing
yeah.
right now.
Put a blanket on, girl.
Yeah.
My ADD is just not working today at all. I go from Jim talking about Bob's Burgers, and then he starts talking about whaling, and all I can think about is Cartman when he's joining the Save the Whales group, and he's like bombing whaling ships.
Oh boy.
Anyway, what I started to say a while ago before Sally rudely disconnected everybody.
Whatever. Beat shit, Tom.
I fell down a black hole. I started out looking out for how to make a baked Alaska. I ended up on the page for has the United States ever tried to annex Canada? And actually, there's been about 4 times that they Canadian provinces have tried to join the United States.
How did you get on that page?
Beats the hell out of me. You know how you start clicking, you click on this, and you see, oh, you know, let me click on that, and then that popped up as a suggestion. I don't know. Maybe it's because I was Alaska.
During the war, 1812, didn't they have a little border fight like up there north of Ohio or Pennsylvania or something, where Canada was they were trying to come down more, like get some of a little bit of that territory, like on the other side of the lake.
Sounds like we got to build another wall.
Yeah.
Keep the Canadians out.
Okay, this is gonna sound stupid, and I'm afraid to Google it because if I do it, y'all won't see me the rest of the day. Are the Great Lakes are they dammed?
Or you have locks. They call them locks.
We have locks.
There's locks.
Okay, so they are dammed.
Yeah, because they have to use the locks in order to move the ships through the Great Lakes.
Okay.
Yeah, but the locks aren't for holding the water. They can never hold it all.
Yeah, it's for
the
locks are back enough.
The locks are built on the side of the main river. It's between the lakes. It's not
like we have the Erie Canal. We have locks on the canal.
Yeah, we have up by Sault Ste. Marie. We have the locks up there by the UP of Michigan and Canada, and then it goes down into when you go across the big bridge between the Upper Peninsula of Michigan and the Lower Peninsula, you have like Lake Michigan, and Superior is just north of there, and Huron. You could kind of see Huron and Michigan from the bridge, but there's no dam there or nothing. And then I guess I've never been south of there.
Hello, Shamrock Pixie.
I heard, was it Edmund Fitzgerald?
Oh yeah, that's sunk up there on on the big
Yeah.
lake they call Gitchagumi.
Yeah, I took my son to school this morning. He's starting some kind of class dealing with mental health, and they were playing that on the way back.
Oh yeah.
Gordon Lightfoot.
Oh my God, I had a friend who was from Superior who went to Gordon Lightfoot, which I don't know, I've only heard this secondhand, had a music concert in Superior, and he sang the Edmund Fitzgerald, and she said the crowd just went crazy for it. I'm like, okay. It's mildly entertaining, nothing against the Edmund Fitzgerald song. When's the anniversary of that? Is that in November? When's it? What month is it in the? What month? You know who I'm talking about when I say that.
Yeah, that was a big thing up here. People get emotional about that.
Yeah, it was October.
It was. I thought it was November.
No, but the storms in November came early.
Oh.
So that's why it happened in October. I was in a bar in Conover, Wisconsin, which is a small town north of Eagle River, where I actually lived. Well, I lived in Eagle River, and then we moved up to Conover. I mean, it's like got 2 churches and 13 taverns. But anyway, I remember being in this bar, and half the bar was that night happened to be Native Americans, and half the bar was, just regular Conover hillbillies. But anyway, that somebody played the Gordon Lightfoot, Edmund Fitzgerald on the jukebox, and you got all these Native American guys hugging these Conover guys, whatever, and crying, singing this song drunk. And they must have played it like 10 times in a row.
Now, if you don't know what a Northwoods hillbilly looks like, you'll have a lot of beards. They're very outdoorsy looking, a lot of flannel shirts.
They smell like chainsaw
camouflage.
gas.
They smell like chainsaw oil. It's your typical Northwoods hillbilly. Anyway, you guys can't really call them hillbillies.
They wear greasy trucker hats and have beards, and they're all hugging and crying to the Edmund Fitzgerald song. I'm trying to keep a straight face. I don't want to laugh, but it was funny.
Well, you get up here in the Northwoods, and a lot of people's families died on that ship.
Yeah,
have
a lot of people
that's not a light thing up here. That's a big thing up here. There were a lot of people who died from up here on that ship. Yeah. And a lot of people's families died. Even here in Duluth, there's a lot of families who lost relatives on there.
It was like 21 or 26 people or something.
Well, and you have a lot of families that are in the shipping industry, so they understand the law.
It's like a soldier dying or a police officer dying. They're all like brothers, they're all like, they have that connection. So, yeah, you're going to have...
I wasn't making fun of the Edmund Fitzgerald going down. I just remember my friend was at this, a woman I know is from Superior was at the concert in Superior, and she just relayed this story to me. Anyway.
I get a little emotional sometimes when I hear the Edmund Fitzgerald. That's a pretty sad song.
What pops into my mind when I hear that song is being out, the thought of being on that boat, and that boat was a big boat. And in these, the storm, what those guys must have been thinking. Because, I've been out. Lake Wylie is sort of like Lake Marion is sort of like the Great Lakes. It's deep, but it's flat on the bottom. So it'll start white capping it with the least breeze. And I've been out there in a 28-foot speedboat, and a storm blow up, and you can't see 20 feet away from you. Just to, when you look at, I saw a documentary about it. They were talking about the size of the waves that appear out on the lakes, the Great Lakes. Those guys, those guys have just had to be terrified.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My uncle was a World War II vet, and he was at. We have an echo. Who is it?
Hello.
Hello. Yeah, it's Tom. You're echoing, Tom.
Poor Tom. Anyway, I had an uncle who's a World War II vet, and he was at Great Lakes Naval Academy. He said when he trained on Lake Michigan, that water was rougher than when he was out in the ocean.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
That it gets pretty nasty out there.
No.
I threw up on it. I've thrown up in like.
I took that. I did that Apostle Island cruise, and they're like, "Well, it's gonna get a little rough out here." You know, they take you out to the farthest most island, and we probably had 4 or 5 foot waves. It was a pretty good boat; it could handle it. But I'm like, "Oh man, there is no way I'd be out here on a freaking boat piloting it myself." I can tell you that, because I hate rough water.
And I wasn't saying that you guys were making fun of the Edmund Fitzgerald. I know it's kind of a goofy sounding song. Not
No,
from our,
I was kind of making fun of my friend more than the song, I guess.
no, I just
So, sorry to my friend.
yeah, big meanie Carol.
For the jukebox, but I mean, no, I have no disrespect for the families of the people yet, actually. But I can guarantee you, none of the people in this tavern in Conover were anyway related to this boat.
It's just an emotional thing.
I think it was more an alcohol thing, but
Well,
so yeah,
it sort of
alcohol
been-
makes
if you think back when Jim's talking about this in the 80s, that I
well, it
mean,
would have been
that,
closer to when it happened, yeah.
okay, but no, if you think back, this is during the time when we had like huge clashes between the Native Americans and the other people up here over spearing and stuff, where they're like fighting at the boat landings. And
That was
stuff
the
like
same.
that.
Actually, that
I
is-
mean, it would be the same time period. So in a way, it's kind of amazing they're all hugging each other in a tavern like
it
that.
was one of the boat landings where they arrested a bunch of people at protests. Was the group was at that bar when they decided to go to the boat landing, and I had gone with. But then when I saw the group was all whipped up, I left before they went to the boat landing because I could see it was turning not from we're going to protect spawning fish. It was turning into something else, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to wear a white hood. So I left. And a lot of them
You had some really bad.
This
You had
is
some
like
bad
2 later.
stuff happen here because of the spirit.
It was like 2 years later in the exact same bar. It was kind of
One of Gary's relatives, I don't remember which one, actually got sick and wasn't able to go on the Edmund Fitzgerald. He was supposed to go out that day. And he ended up getting sick with the flu. And they wouldn't let him get on the ship. And ended up being the best day of his life, you know.
Yeah.
Imagine how that would screw with your head, huh?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, they say it sunk really fast. They do
Yeah.
say that. I mean, you still are drowning. So I mean, for God's sakes, I mean, you know.
I hope I didn't just sell these man pants or these women pants as men pants. I wonder if these are women pants.
I had a neighbor.
Look at 'em.
I had a neighbor who drank heavily.
And his
And
name.
when he was not drinking, he was a good guy. But when he started drinking, I knew the law was going to show. But I'm trying to remember.
Teddy's on the table. Would you grab them? They're yellow.
I'm trying to remember which one of the NASCAR drivers was killed. Was it Dale Earnhardt?
Yeah.
I don't really follow NASCAR.
I don't follow NASCAR either. And, you know, I've got the damn speedway 45 minutes away from me.
You're right.
Anyway, he just he came knocking on my door, and he was just boo-hooing and crying. I'm like, oh my God, Chris, something happened to your dad? No, Dale Earnhardt died. I'm like, the race car driver? Yeah. I'm like, and what's got you so worked up? Because he's dead. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm sorry he's dead, but, you know, I've got some people over here, and I don't want to be listening to you boo-hooing. How can you be like that, Tom?
I cried when Michael Jackson died, and I cried when Prince died.
Oh, you're sad.
And when Randy Travis meets his maker, I am going to cry for a week. When Patrick Swayze died, I bawled my eyes out for a
Well,
while.
I'll tell you what. When Dolly Parton,
I'm saying
when Dolly Parton dies, I'll be on my knees just crying and boo-hooing
Oh
and
my
going
God.
down.
When
Well,
Jim
that
was a
is
little
not
boy,
compassion.
when Jim was a little boy, I'm going to tell you a Dolly Parton story. They were watching like Dolly. He was at his friend's house. They're watching Dolly Parton sing on the TV, and the
we're like
friend.
7 years old.
They're like 7. His friend's dad is sitting in there, and after she gets done saying, he must have been so taken by Dolly. He goes, "Beautiful, just beautiful. And these two start making fun of him.
No, we just started giggling.
Oh, they started laughing. He's, get the hell out of here. I'm going to take my belt off and whip your asses or whatever.
He was watching. She was singing on Hee Haw. She was singing some song, and I mean, I guess it was an okay song. I'm not really into Dolly Parton, but anyway, yeah, he's just shaking his head side to side. Goes beautiful, just beautiful, and me and his kid just start laughing. He's like, "Get out of here," because I think he was starting to tear up.
Dolly's wonderful.
Every man back then was in love with Dolly Parton. Well, not with her.
I never.
specifically, but
Yeah, I love old time country, but Dolly never really did it for me. I mean,
Oh well.
nothing against her.
Have you been to Dollywood, Tom?
No, I haven't.
Really? No, I want to go. Actually, I want to go. I want to go check it out.
Well, let me know when y'all coming down, and we'll meet you over there.
Well, Dollywood is like by Gatlinburg, isn't it?
Yeah.
I like Loretta Lynn.
Oh yeah, I do. I want to go see Loretta Lynn. I probably won't before she dies.
Kitty
I thought
Wells.
she was dead.
Not yet.
No, she's alive.
She's still alive, and she don't sing because she came up here to Rylander to this Hodag Country Fest probably about 8 years ago. But we had Brandon, and it's hard to take a little baby to a concert and stuff. But I would have liked to have gone and seen her.
Yeah,
We
instead
saw
of
George
teacup,
Jones before he died.
yeah, instead of the teacup ride like at Disneyland, you ride around in the bra cup.
Okay,
nice.
that was a little extreme.
A 55 triple E.
Jeez, Todd, that was really nice.
Todd, you're being a misogynist right now, and I don't even know what that word means.
I don't even know what it means, but I like it.
I don't even know what it means.
She used to make fun of herself on Johnny Carson all the time.
She
and
still does.
he would.
I think didn't she have the breast reduction surgery though, because they're quite a bit smaller than they used to be.
I don't know, but Johnny would
Well,
lead
if you
her on.
can't tell they ain't smaller, Todd, you need glasses because there's no way they're the same size as the 80s. I can tell you that.
Oh,
Well, I'm sure they when you lift their face, it doesn't affect the size of your boobs.
No,
They
but
don't-
you're going in. Once the guy starts starting around your body, he's
Oh,
going to talk
okay.
you into other
I,
stuff.
I thought you meant the facelift, like, changes the size of your breasts or something. I'm like, no.
Let me put it this way: if you get a tattoo sleeve, you're going to get tattoos other places.
All right.
Okay, well, I'm gonna tell you what. Sweet Daddy is not getting fucking tattoos. Excuse my French. Pardon my français.
Yeah, I
French is
don't
my
really
English.
like. I don't mind tattoos, but I don't like needles. I used to think about getting one, and then the older I get, it's like, well, where am I going to put it? Where, if I have to go to a situation where I don't want to show it, and then I'm like, do we really need to spend this money on this? I can go do something else.
Get your tramp stamp.
No, because if you're going to have a tramp stamp, then you should be able to show it, and I don't have the body to show a tramp stamp. Is my point. If you're gonna have a tramp stamp, cool. Wear low-rise jeans and mid-drift shirts. You don't want me in low-rise jeans and mid-drift shirts. Look like I'm wearing a inner tube around my waist. It would not be flattering. Sorry, I like to hide that stuff. It's a hidden mystery.
Oh Lord.
I remember when the jogging craze was sweeping across America back in the 80s or 70s or whenever, and Dolly Parton was on Johnny Carson, and he asked her, well, are you joining the jogging craze? And she said, oh no, Johnny, if I tried to jog, I would black both my eyes.
True that.
Well, she's been asked if she's had plastic surgery, and she said, of course. It takes a lot of money to look this trashy. And I don't think she looks trashy. I think she's her plastic surgery.
I didn't like her songs when she started singing with Billy Ray Cyrus. Then I was kind of like, but that's just me.
Jolene.
Yeah, I mean the older stuff is good, but remember in the 90s when she started going with Billy Ray singing duets with Billy Ray Cyrus and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I did not like that.
Yeah, I didn't care for anything she did after the Porter Wagner show. Once she left
Yeah,
Porter
she
Wagner
was,
show,
she was good with Porter Wagner, but I loved her with Kenny Rogers.
Yeah, okay. I'm talking, but I'm the early '80s stuff. Yes, I'm talking about like in the '90s when she started like doing duets with Billy Ray Cyrus. I did not like that stuff. It was like that. 2 doors down, they're laughing and singing, and I think was that no, that's not that old. But there's
That
one
was in
she
the
did.
70s, baby.
No, you're right. That isn't it. But there's one she did with Billy Ray Cyrus, and I'm like, eh. Anyway, why are we talking about Dolly Parton? I do not know.
Anyway, True 72 said she has season passes to Dollywood, or he does. She does.
It does.
Is it a good park?
It looks
True
good.
72. It does. It looks.
I mean, it looks like it would be fun. There's another one I want to go to too. It's called like Pennsylvania Amish Land or something, or it's some kind of like Amish theme park or something. I don't know why. I just got to go to it. It's in Pennsylvania, and I forgot what the heck the name of it is, but it's some to the effect of it's like some kind of Amish land or something.
Before you go there, Tara, you're gonna have to get over your judginess. I'm just kidding.
Well, it's not being judgy. I'm nothing against the Amish. I see them at horse auctions. They don't bother me.
Is it the Dutch Wonderland that you're talking about?
Something like that.
Yeah, we pass it.
I'm just teasing you, Tara.
Amish land.
Well, because it's Amish themed. I mean, they have like roller coasters and stuff, but it's all like Pennsylvania Dutch, like Amish type dress and stuff. Instead of, like if you went to Disney, you see Mickey people walking around. This you see like Amish people walking around, or people dressed like.
Okay.
I've asked it so many times. I've never.
I never would have thought about it. I have a friend who works at the Pentagon in Washington, D.C. He takes his kids up there like once a year. And I'm like, oh my God, I got to go check this thing out. Actually, it looks like it'd be kind of fun. Anyway.
I've got a good friend, and let me say he and his family are devout Jews, okay? So I'm not making fun of anybody. We're good friends.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
So let me lay all that out for him. When he was a kid, he would want to go to like Carowinds or Six Flags or someplace like that, and his dad wouldn't go because he didn't know how they process the food.
Oh God.
And he, which is a big thing. Mm-hmm. And he said, "Okay, Dad. Well, when you come into about $15 million, we're going to start our own amusement park called Jewville."
Okay.
We caretake for a Jewish family, and the guy comes outside a long time ago and says, "Jim, would you like a BLT? We're making BLTs."
No, I said, "Would you want lunch?" Right? His wife was making sandwiches.
Yeah, they're BLTs, and Jim like looks at me. He goes, "Aren't you not supposed to eat bacon?" And he goes, "Oh, Jimmy, it's too good not to have just a little."
I agree.
Well, my friend, I could say I'm cooking ribs. You want me to put you some chicken on? And he'd say, "Hell no, I'll take a rack of ribs by myself." Pork ribs.
No way.
So I think he and his brothers and sisters were from we try to follow all the rules that we can, but we're not killing ourselves on some of them. Because I was raised a Baptist, and Baptists don't drink or drink, smoke, or dance.
That's how I was.
And I've done all three quite a bit.
You lie too. You know Baptist does it all.
No, lying is when you say you don't do something and you do it.
Yeah. When I was a kid, because I were Catholic, we would leave the church, and when you leave the church, the priest is usually out there shaking your hand as you're leaving and stuff like that. And finally they complained about it enough, they got him to stop. The priest that was at our church, and I'm probably about like 8, 9 years old, he'd be out there shaking your hand with a cigarette in his mouth. You know what I mean? But eventually the ladies complained about it so much, or they made him ditch the cigarettes. Oh, he was a chain smoker though. I mean, as soon as he was done with his mass, he had one lit up right away. And when you walk out the doors, they shake your hand, whatever. And he'd be out there smoking and shaking your hand. It was funny.
That is so funny that you're Catholic.
That's
After my
funny that I'm
dream.
Catholic. Why?
After that dream I had, and you were like, "Don't tell anybody that I'm from Eagle River because I don't want them to know I didn't want anybody to think I was Catholic."
Well, that doesn't even make sense, Nikki,
Remember
but
that
okay.
dream I had? I had that dream about the semi truck.
Yeah, I know you told me that. I don't want to be no Catholic. Well, I am I went to Catholic school and I was raised Catholic, but I'm not a very good practicing Catholic.
Okay, let me ask you this: you went to Catholic school. Did you have nuns?
Yes.
Were they as mean as they make them out to be on TV?
Well, by the time like when I went to school, like I mean I'm 10 years old in '83. I mean they cracked down on that kind of stuff where they didn't like nuns weren't allowed to like hit you and stuff like that. I mean we did have some nuns that were stricter, but they never hit you or anything. I mean they would bust you and maybe put you have you go to the principal's office or something. Now I will say my grandmother's sister was a nun. Old school, old habit sister, you know, had the full like ankle length. You didn't see any skin on them. They wore those full length black robes and sleeves and everything, and the big habit where it covers their whole face pretty much, you know. My uncle had friends that had her as a school teacher, and she was really bad. She would really crack kids and stuff. So, but I mean, by the time I went to school, the Catholic Church was changing. They weren't as you didn't have that kind of stuff then, you know. I mean most of the nuns when I went to school they already were like wearing you could see their calves. I mean their skirts were only to their knees, you know what I mean. So
we had a kid get his ear tore.
Oh well, he had rougher nuns up here, but he was in a smaller church.
You know, she grabbed a kid by the ear so hard that she tore his ear a little bit.
Oh,
so they stitched it, and that was that. Parents say he had it coming. That was that.
Yeah, but Tara, you guys are in a little bit of a different generation too.
Yeah, but also I think because Jim went to Catholic school up here.
Well, I'm 8 years older than you.
You're 8 years old, but you're also in a smaller parish where probably if they're nuns that are going to be a little rough, they ship them way out to the outskirts where they're in a class where they only have like 10 kids or whatever, and it ain't a very big school. I mean, my class, we would have, 30, 35 kids per class. So.
Well, I had kids when I had friends, you rode the school bus with the public kids. And they would say, well, how do you make it in a school like that? I mean, I heard they're so strict and the punishment is so severe. Yeah, well, you just don't screw up because you're taking your life in your hands, fool. You don't light cherry bombs and throw them in garbage cans and stuff in my school. They'll string you up.
Yeah.
It never gets to that point. You won't say poop if you got a mouthful. It's you just learn that this is the way it is, and you just toe the line.
Yeah. Do you if you've watched the Harry Potter movies, there's a part where the janitor, the caretaker, he talks about he missed the days where he used to hang students up by their thumbs down in the basement. God, I miss those days.
It really never got to that point, though, because you got so severely punished for the most minor infraction that it never got really bad where they would have to do some kind of horrible punishment. Usually, but it was physical. I mean, they would crack you. It was swift and from above. I mean, you got smacked, but it didn't happen very often because you just didn't step out of line.
I don't know. It seems like it was, and I don't want to be like old fashioned. It was a little bit of a different time. Like when I was a kid, you had a little bit of a
consequences,
a fear of authority. You had a little bit of a fear of your parents, like getting in trouble and getting caught, a little bit of fear from your teacher or your principal of what the consequences are. And I don't know, like now, if they have that. And I'll use this as an example. I went to school for Brandon. I was going to field trip with him. And there was a kid who was having a meltdown, freak out. He's on the sidewalk in front of the school, laying on his belly, having a horrible temper tantrum. And they can't, say, okay, we're going to go to the principal's office and have you cool down. And I'm not talking about beating the kid, but they can't touch the kid at all. All they can do is stand around him in a circle and call one of his parents to come and deal with him. Which I'm like, when I was in school, they would have picked you up by your hand. And I don't mean in a rough, mean way. And they would have walked you to the office and got you under control. They can't do that anymore. And I think, then it gets to the point where who's running the asylum? You know? Not that I think you should. I don't hit my kids. I don't beat my child. But they also have to have a consequence if they lie or do something that's wrong. There has to be some kind of consequence that they get for that.
Mm-hmm.
Kids these days know that nobody can do anything to them. You know, my niece used to tell me that all the time. Go ahead and smack me. I'll call the police, and she did, as a matter of fact, one time, and I never even touched her. But the police ended up figuring out that she was lying. She said I pushed her down the stairs. But anyways, that's a long story. But yeah, I mean, they'll threaten you with calling the police, and I'd tell her, go ahead and call the damn police. You know, I'll be in jail for a day. You'll be gone forever. You know, I mean, I was just like, I don't care. You know,
I'll tell you this.
I'll freaking smack you if I want. You know,
There's a boy.
But that's why my kids didn't behave like that, because my kids knew that I would smack. I never had to smack my kids, but they knew I would.
Yeah.
I'll say, like, there's a boy in Brandon's class who gets, like, frustrated or whatever and just runs out of the classroom. Runs out of the classroom, freaks out the hallway. I mean, and I can only relate because I'm old. When I was in school, I mean, if you did something like run out of the classroom, holy Christ, I don't even know what the hell they did to you.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not talking about beating you. You'd have had meetings with your parents there. You'd have been talking to the principal. You probably would have had some kind of in-school suspension or something. I mean, it would have been a whole laundry list of stuff, you know. Anyway.
I was 17 years old, and my best friend and I got into a fight with two other guys. And anybody knows me, don't look like I'd be the fighting kind, but when somebody jumps on you, bud, you got to get back in there with them. So we get sent to the principal's office, and the only person that they could get hold of, as far as parents goes, was my friend's housekeeper, who has been their housekeeper all his life.
Oh, Kathy. Anyway, go ahead.
And he got there. When she got there, she was busting a valve. They were going to send us home for 3 days.
I said, just wait till January 2nd.
They were going to send us home for 3 days, and she said, "No, you're not." And she proceeded to beat our 17-year-old asses right there in the principal's office. And then she told us to go back to our classroom, and she had better never get another call like this.
Yeah, because she would have had to put up with you when you were at home.
No, this was not our housekeeper. This was my friend.
Oh, your friend.
But the shape's in good shape.
And she was like,
Liz does the help.
Oh my God.
Who else can say they have a conversation that the housekeeper?
I'll have to go outside. The shade is good, but if he wants me to measure it, I will have to walk out and go measure it. I do not know a measurement off the top of my head.
What, Kathy?
That's what you're asking.
I said, I don't think none of us could ever say that we had the help called on us for school.
No.
Right.
Or housekeeper.
Well, I'm so glad because she's like, and that's that. But she was real matter of fact with our principal. And she was about 4 feet tall and 5 feet wide. You know, African American lady, gray hair. She could, when she swung a belt, she pulled a belt out of her purse. She came prepared.
My kind of woman right there.
When that belt swung through the air, I swear I heard sonic booms.
Yeah.
And you're 17 years old. You're waiting for your turn. You're trying not to cry.
My grandma could lay out the corporal punishment. Yeah. She lived with us, and my mom never really spanked me or hit me, but my grandmother, she could lay it out. She just, by the time I was a little kid, she was too slow, so I could outmaneuver her or outrun her.
I just pictured Brandon when you said that.
No, I mean, he's got maybe a couple of patches on the butt, I call him, but I mean, he never really got a spanking. He never, even when he was little, I mean, just never got a spanking. He got a lot of talking tos, you know, but never a spanking.
My older kids, because I was whipped when I was a kid, and it taught me to lie. That's what taught me to do it. It taught me to lie to avoid a whipping. And this way, I would rather have the kid tell me the truth and, know that the punishment's going to fit the crime. I mean, if I know it was an accident, you admit what you did and whatever, you're probably going to get very light punishment. I mean, because accidents happen. I mean, if you deliberately go burn down a shed or something, obviously that's more severe or whatever. Just tell me you did it ain't gonna cut it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I mean, I always thought, and my kids, all three of my kids, when they talk to me, they would talk to me like an adult. They would say, okay, this is what I did. I'm sorry. This is why it happened. I'll try not to do it again or whatever. And I mean, that's usually how it wound up. So there were nothing like my child. I mean, I just did horrible stuff, and I'm not sure it wasn't because I was whipped. I think it was like, I don't know, I was like a thrill seeker. I mean, I was the one who was starting buildings on fire or shooting guns when I wasn't supposed to, and, sneaking out of the house at night and going places. Yeah, my kids, thank God, don't do any of that stuff.
I don't think I turned out bad.
Tom, I want that for Christmas, that big old boat.
You what?
There's a big old boat we passed by. I want that for Christmas.
Okay, I'll see what I can do.
That motorhome.
Backing up to the Catholic upbringing, I had a Catholic roommate for a while, and this was after wife number one.
I thought Baptists aren't supposed to get divorced either, Tom.
Well, I'm a sinner. I'm a sinner.
Well, sometimes if you marry a jerk, you have to.
Yeah. But I had this roommate, and John was a great guy, and we really enjoyed, sharing the apartment together. And one of the best things I learned about him was he liked to go to church. He liked to go to Sunday Mass at 1:00. And why do you go to Sunday Mass at 1:00? Because you can stay out all night, sleep till noon, and we could walk to his church in 15 minutes. So I started going to Sunday Mass because my mom still wanted me to go to church, and she was okay with it. There was a brother that used to come by our apartment, and he had come by when he was out doing his visitations, and he wasn't a full-fledged priest yet. And he would stop by and he would say, what have you boys been up to? And we would talk a little bit, and then he'd start going, I'm a little parched. You got anything to drink? And I'd say, I got some sweet tea. I got some pop. He says, and John would say, because, Baptist preachers don't drink.
No.
And he would say, how about a cold beer? And he says, that might hit the spot. But he was a really good guy. Every Tuesday night he would stop by.
This is Kurt and Corey.
And one of the Sundays that I went to church, he happened to be on duty that day. And the old priest that kind of was head of that church, he said, when was the last time you boys have been to confession? And John said, well, about a month ago. And John turned and looked at me, and I said, never.
I'll go with you.
So the old priest said, booth number 1, and he said, let me go get me a cup of coffee because I believe we're going to be there a while. But anyhow, they were good folks.
Yeah, Liz says that's the Bible Belt. Lots of preaching, not much practicing.
That's it.
Hell yeah.
I'll tell you all day long what to do, but don't do what I do.
Do as I say.
That's it too.
Where you at, Kathy?
What?
What was that city you just went through?
We're in Texarkana, I think, somewhere. I don't know. I'm just oblivious, Tom. I just ride.
She's just riding.
I'm just riding because it's a 20-damn-hour drive, and I don't know where we're going to get there.
Well, turn the tracking on your phone, and so we can pull you up on Google Maps and find out where you're at.
Oh, okay, I'll do that. Then you can know where I'm at. I don't know. Texarkana, is that where we're at? Texarkana, I don't know. They put us on 30 right now, so.
Okay.
Yeah. Or going our way to Texarkana. I don't know why they had to name it 3 different places.
I think we need to turn the camera on Marcel so he could tell us where he is.
Marcel, where are we?
Those big green signs that's over there on the side of the road says, such and such. 8 miles.
Man, I thought those were like to tell me they had a flip-flop flea market here. That's all I was concerned about. Look up flip-flop flea market. You'll know where I'm at. No, it's in Benton.
You didn't stop?
No. That's on my trip back. I got to get there first. On my way back, then I'm going to.
Marcel, what the hell's your problem?
I'm writing them down. I'm writing all the places I want to stop on the way back. Ugh. Coming through all the crazy towns, you'll get to see a lot now.
Are you on the Are you still on the freeway?
Oh yeah. We'll be on this for a while.
280 miles.
Yeah, 280 something miles.
On this one.
Yeah, on this one.
It just looked like you had all those businesses on the right hand side of the road. It looked like you had driveways to go in there.
Oh no, there's another road.
Oh, okay.
There, yeah. No, you'd have to cut through everything. It's too much to not get killed.
Well, if you got 4-wheel drive, you can go anywhere.
We left the Jeep at home. We had to bring the truck. It's more comfortable.
I'm not getting shit done.
Just so you guys know,
Uh-huh.
I watched it on TV the other day, and it had For Real Pets on it. So they're I don't know, promoting For Real Pets. So if you have some used ones, get them up because people will be looking for those. And if the real ones or if the new ones are too much, they'll go with a used one.
Yeah.
What is that?
For Real Pets?
For Real Pets.
Okay.
See, like this one? It's a bunny rabbit one. He's looking pretty scary, but hoping to clean him up and get him ready for Easter.
Let me see him again.
And he hops. He hops. He moves. He hops.
Oh.
And makes sounds like he's sniffing and crunching a carrot. So.
Oh. No, I don't want any of those evil things in my house.
That's like them babies. Them babies are weird looking. That look like a real baby.
Yeah.
No, I don't care how much
I take
they're worth. No.
I take the batteries out of them, and if they start doing stuff, then they're out.
A buddy of mine's got a little girl, and she's got about 100 of those damn Furbies.
Oh God.
And he will walk by her bed, like he's getting ready to go to bed. He'll look in the door, and the door will squeak, and all of them will start talking to each other.
Oh my God!
And she'll sleep right through it. And he told her one night, he said, "Baby, you got to start turning your Furbies off." And she said, "Why?" And he says, "Because they make too much noise." And she says, "They don't wake me up." He's like, "Yeah, but they're creepy as hell when they all start sitting there talking to each other, especially the ones that have the eyes that flash when they talk."
Oh yeah. The demon ones.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Barbecue on the side of the road. Yeah. I'll be looking for food. I'm always hungry on road trips.
Yeah, I do too. It's like
I need food.
I don't smoke, so I gotta have a soda or some water or a bag of chips or something.
Yeah, something to munch on all the time.
Roberta texted me and she said, "What you want for dinner tonight?" And I said, "I don't know. What do you want me to make?" And she said, "Well, I was thinking about 2 Carolina Classics from Wendy's." And I think, and I said, "Well, if you're going to get you a couple of Carolina Classics, stop by the Korean fried chicken place and get me some chicken feet."
Oh God.
And she said, "I won't, even if they have them."
I wouldn't either. Any gross.
Fried
I'm
chicken
making
feet are
dinner
good.
tonight.
What you making?
Porcupine meatballs.
That's the one with the rice in them?
Okay.
Huh?
Is that the meatballs with the rice in them?
Yeah.
Okay. See, I know what that is. See? Ha ha.
Porcupine meatball.
That's right.
I'm gonna actually make a batch for work. I'm gonna give them to people at work as like a Christmas thing. I have these boxes that I could probably fit like 10 of the 10 or 12 meatballs in, and then
You're gonna put them in a box?
yeah, I'm gonna put them in foil and then a box.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say,
and then I'm gonna make some for dinner tonight.
I've got a hankering for some cheese rings.
For what?
Cheese rings.
What is that?
It's like like a snack type thing, a party finger food thing, but it's cheese, shredded sharp cheese, some red pepper, flour, and I can't remember the other things. You make a paste, and then like some people use an extruder and make like long sticks, and then you bake them. They're good as hell.
Huh.
Make you want to kiss your grandma, even if you have to dig her up to do it.
No.
No. That's scary.
Miss Renault, what time are you expected to get to your destination?
4 a.m.
Oh,
I know, right? Want to change places? Whew. That's what I'm saying. We made
well, I've never
midway.
You're going to Arizona, right?
Yeah, Tucson. Yeah.
And that's where it's like 118 in the shade, right? During the summer?
Yeah, it's like 80 degrees there. We're going from like 40 to 80 in a 12-hour period.
My husband used to live in Tucson when he was a kid.
Oh, really?
He had to move down there because of his asthma.
Yeah.
It was better for him down there.
It's hot, that's for sure. But we the last time we came down here when he had his heart attack, I mean, we came home in a day. We ended up stopping the first time in New Mexico. So we may not stop this time. We may keep going between the both of us driving.
Well, I've only seen.
We used to go. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I was to Bullhead City all the time.
Yeah.
That's where my grandparents lived when we were kids, and so we'd go to Bullhead City, and it was like 6 hours from California. It was 8 hours, 6 or 8, something like that. Sometimes we'd ride in the back of the truck.
Oh wow! Yeah, Marcel used to live there. His daughter lives there still.
Yeah.
Bullhead.
Bullhead City.
Bullhead City.
Yeah.
So is he going to get to see his daughter too on this trip?
Well, we don't know if she's going to be able to take off because she works the casinos and she works graveyard. That was smooth moving.
Oh.
There. So we don't know if she's going to be able to make it over or not in time. You know, we hope we can. We're going to try to, but there's no. It's a quick notice.
Oh Lord.
But it's her
Going to
grandpa.
Bullhead City.
Yeah.
Off, shouldn't she?
Yeah, I know.
Shouldn't she be able to get off of work because it's her grandpa?
Well, she needs her job, so she's a single mom. She needs her job, and yeah.
Oh.
The casinos the area with the casinos are bad anyway. They
Oh.
don't for any reason let anybody go. But I'm sure that if anything happens, we get her a death certificate. She would. She would get a 3-day grievance off. So we're gonna try to get in touch with her because this was a call that we got late last night.
Oh.
Yeah. So no one really. His son lives over here in Arizona too, and he knows what's kind of going on. But we thought we had maybe a few more weeks because we talked to his hospice nurse yesterday morning, and then she seemed to be okay. We had a few weeks, and then late last night, she called us and said that it's probably just a few days. So it was kind of a change of plans real quick.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
hopefully we'll get to see him. We're gonna try.
This kind of stuff never happens when it's, a good time.
Oh God, no. So I'm ready for December to be over with.
Yeah.
I'm over this month. This year, I'm done. I need a new year. Please.
Yeah, you've had a rough month.
Yeah. Ooh, just a rough week, and it started
Yeah.
Sunday. Like, good Lord. Yeah, I'm in a rough life, but no,
Yeah. Yeah, you guys need a little break from the crap.
got to deal with it, you know.
What you gonna do?
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah.
Give y'all a road trip view of Sally's listing challenge today.
That's what I say. I love having all these family and friends. It's nice having a big family. It's nice having lots of friends. I mean, we've got tons of friends. I've got a lot of friends online. But the problem with it is now you've made your circle bigger, and now you've got the potential of losing more people. you know, at least
I know.
when people don't have family and friends, they don't lose anybody.
No, it's like, dang it.
It almost makes you wonder which is better.
When you get to be a certain age, that's more of in your thoughts than you really would think.
Yeah.
Isn't that right, Todd?
Well, I know because my dad, who's 75, but all of his friends were always much older than him. So all of a sudden, when he's like in his, I don't know, he's about 55, 60, all of a sudden his friends start dropping like flies, and they have been continuously dropping like flies ever since. And, my dad starts saying, well, you start questioning your mortality, and it's like, well, Dad, you got to remember all your friends were a lot older than you, know. But then all of a sudden my dad lost his wife, then he lost my brother and sister, and he's like, yeah, I'm really starting to question your mortality now, I mean, it really starts making you think, but.
Okay, put the brakes on for just a minute, Nikki. Put the brakes on. You was that not your mother? You said he lost his wife.
My mom. No, my mom.
Okay.
Yeah.
You just
my mom and dad were married. My mom and dad were married like 35 years or 36 years before she died.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. Just the way you said his wife, I didn't know whether he was married to somebody else.
I know. And I always feel guilty saying, well, I'm going to my dad's house. Because, when people say, oh, I'm going to my dad's house, usually that means that they're divorced. Their parents are divorced. Yeah. So I always feel bad saying I'm going to my dad's house because I always feel like I'm not giving my mom the respect she deserves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think about things like that, Because I don't want anybody to think my mom and dad were divorced.
Yeah. What's me and Marcel was talking? We're at that age to where our friends and stuff. It's getting to be where parents and friends, just things are going to start happening that way. I mean, it's just life. All I can say is if you don't have funeral arrangements set up, do them now because don't leave this to your kids.
Yeah.
Well, we go through different stages when we're you're adults. You're married and you're no children, and your best friends can call you up and say, hey, let's meet at the Outback in about 20 minutes. No problem. You're out the door. Then you have children, and they say, "Let's meet at a restaurant in 20 minutes." And I'm like, 20 minutes? I won't even have all their shoes on their feet in 20 minutes.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then it comes to the point where your friends call you up and they say, "Let's go out. Let's go to the buffet at Golden Corral. It's seniors time. We'll meet you there in 30 minutes." And I'm like, 30 minutes? First of all, I got to remember where my keys are at, where my shoes are at. I've got to be able to bend over to pick them up off the floor to get them on my feet.
I know we talked to my mom and was, telling her because, she loves Marcel because, me and Marcel's been together almost 16 years. She was asking me what we're going to do for funeral arrangements. Did he have all this, that, and the other? I was like, well, no, we're doing like a whole body donation, like for science and stuff. Because that's what we can afford. We don't, nobody's paid for nothing. It's like I told her, she was, well, you're going to bury me. I said, well, I guess you better get to paying for it, honey. Because if not, you go into a whole body donation too. I love you and all.
Do you have to pay when you donate the body?
No, they do if it's something, if they meet the criteria, if they're like cancer patients, diabetes, stuff like that, they'll take them with no hesitance whatsoever. But they like for you to go ahead and be registered. But with him, he has a hospice nurse. They went to the hospice facility, and so she gave us the name. So we called, and they accepted him right away. Just have to have the hospice nurse call, but there's no payment. Because I asked, do I pay anything? And he says, no, that donation is the body, and it's for study for doctors, nurse or medical students. I think what they were. Yeah, he has a hernia, and it's massive, and they're gonna love that part of it. They're gonna learn a lot. But you just have to be prepared because I've never had to do this. So I don't know what all do we do. What do we look at? It's a lot to think about.
My parents have got all of their arrangements made.
Yeah, my mom does too. Hers is actually all paid for.
Yeah, theirs is too.
That's what I told them. We have ours, so we're good. If anything happens between me and Marcel, we're okay. It's just, yep. Get that Pinto and light it on fire with some wood sticks around it. And put me a margarita in my hand, put me on a bonfire, we'll be all right. But it's a lot.
That's
definitely got to think
you guys
about it.
can do that. I would love it if I could do that with me.
Yeah, that's what we're doing with us. Because they have it here in Tupelo, in our area, too. They have
we have a big university here. I wonder if they'd do that here.
You ought to look into it. It's kind of cool to look into. It actually is interesting.
First, I'm only about 5 hours from Mayo. Maybe they do it. Because me and my husband have paid for so many funerals in the last year or two. I just tired of paying for funerals.
I know.
We both have life insurance, but really important to have life insurance. I know it
is.
I know it's not in a perfect world. We all can have life insurance and everything, and I know sometimes it's kind of out of the realm. You can't afford it or whatever, and I understand that. There's been times where we really couldn't afford our life insurance, but we did it anyways. Yeah, it's hard to do sometimes.
Yeah.
It's nice that there's a program out there. And then I told my kids, I said, I want you guys to have a picnic. I said, if it's nice out, if I die in the summertime, I said, have a big barbecue at the park or at my farm or something. I said, that would be a blast. I don't want everybody crying around going, boo. I want everybody to have a nice barbecue. My niece, she couldn't afford a lot one time, and she wasn't my niece. She's my nephew's ex-girlfriend. But once you're in my family, you never get out. We are Italian, Anyways, she couldn't afford her when her dad died, and my dad offered to pay for it for her, but she said no. But she was gonna have a barbecue at the park. She had everybody bring potluck, and I thought, well, that's a little tacky, you know. And she had them cremated, so she paid for that part. But anyways, we were there, and they played his favorite music. They a bunch of his friends talked and stuff. I mean, he wasn't a religious man, so not having an officiant of it wasn't a big deal, you know. Because he wasn't a believer. But yeah, I thought it was a really nice. I mean, they would obviously have to have a priest there for me, but or some kind of religious figure, you know. And but I think it would be nice to have a nice barbecue. I mean, that would be like celebrating my life the way I live, because I'm like huge about barbecues. I love having barbecues.
Yeah, and see, that's how I am too. I want it simple.
Well, it gets kind of elaborate for us when we go. First of all, you got to hire a covey of criers. You know, just a bunch of old women just walk along and just cry on the way to the mausoleum.
You need to find the Southern black women. They're perfect for that.
Oh my gosh.
I'm serious. They honey, those girls can cry. They ain't got to know the person. We got the women love it. They love the funerals around here.
Yeah, they can talk to people and they can eat, and they just it's a social event.
It is, and they come dressed up like they're going to a Sunday church, and they do. They are a funeral home, but they can throw some funerals around here.
Yeah.
I promise you that.
The fellow I was mentioned earlier that his housekeeper showed up at school and beat our behinds. When he got married, got married, this lady sat on the third row with all the aunts and uncles. You know, mother's on the first row, grandmothers are on the second row, aunts and uncles are on the third row. Anyway, she sat back there and she boo-hooed and just cried and carried on. And I was one of the ushers. And I got tickled. And then she started glaring at me, and then I got really tickled. And then that just set off a bunch of giggles across the whole wedding party, including the groom, which his wife, fiance, you know, the bride was glaring at him. But we just got so. She was just carrying on like he was dying, or had died. Because her baby, because he was the last one that she had raised. But it was funny. It was. I swear, I just about died.
The Southern black women here, they know. Trust me, woo. Them some women.
When my dad's mother died, an elderly black lady showed up, and I didn't have any idea who she was. But she apparently was she and my grandmother had known each other all their lives. And she had moved to Georgia, and so her son brought her to the funeral. And you know, people bring over food and stuff like that. The next thing I knew, there was a bunch of ladies from this woman's church that had no connection to this family, our family at all, except for the fact that this lady was a friend of Grandma's. And they had brought food in, and they were like running the show. They had all the food set out and all that kind of stuff. It was a hoot.
It's fun. It's fun to watch them set that stuff up, and how it's wild. It's like, okie dokie. Go it. Do it. Do what you gotta do.
But you gotta admit, you can find some good food at a funeral. I know it's not funny, and it's not funny, but you can find some good cooks at the daggum, especially the older ladies. And sadly, that's dying out.
Yeah.
You know, the good cooks, because people don't cook like they used to.
Oh no, they do all the takeout and delivery and all that stuff now. No comfort food.
My mother, when she wants pinto beans, she gets the dry beans, and she has to soak them overnight, or look them. She has to look them, and then she has to soak them, and then she cooks them.
Oh my gosh.
She has to look them.
Look them. You look to it for bad beans or shells.
You said lick them.
No, look them. Look them. Not hey, you don't have to worry about licking my mama licking anything, because she won't even. Her food cannot touch in her plate.
That's why we don't go to buffets, because it drives Chris nuts, because I only have like 2 or 3 things on each plate because they can't touch. Yeah, drives them crazy.
It's all going to end up in the same place anyway, so what's the difference?
No, I can't.
Exactly.
Coming out together.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's coming out together. I heard that. But my mom, this drives my family crazy. My mom will go get her on a separate plate when it's time for dessert.
Mm-hmm.
She goes and gets her another plate.
Oh yeah, what are you supposed to do?
Here's my plate. Here's my plate that I just ate my pinto beans and fat back on.
No.
Give me a piece of that. Give me a piece of that chocolate cake and some of that nanner pudding.
No, no. It ain't happening.
That won't taste right.
Everything has to be separate on my plate too. I don't let anything touch.
Yeah.
The only thing I'll make things like potatoes and corn, or something like that. But yeah, otherwise everything, nothing like my coleslaw can't touch my goulash.
Oh no.
Stuff like that, no. And like when I have breakfast, my pancakes better come on a separate plate, because I don't want my syrup with my eggs and bacon and stuff.
That's the best.
I want my syrup on my pancakes and my salt on everything else.
Y'all are just so weird. Y'all are weird.
You don't put dessert on the same goddamn plate as your brat.
If you're baking
Certain
in your
things
syrup,
that can be mixed, but yeah, there's a lot of things that cannot be mixed.
Yeah.
Oh, baby.
And then I go back for my dessert. Since I'm at a potluck, I go back for my dessert. There's no goulash on my brownie. No way.
Mm-mm. Nope.
Y'all were just weird.
No, we're normal. You're weird.
Yeah.
I just-
I don't want no goulash on my brownie. Ew.
When I go to the
I
Denny's,
have to have my bacon and my pancake together. I have
Yeah,
to get my
baby.
bacon in there with my syrup.
and that maple syrup, don't give me any of that daggum weird blueberry, strawberry. Give me some maple syrup
Yeah,
on
give
my
me some real
pancakes.
syrup.
My
And then
pancakes with
do biscuits, sausage covered biscuits, gravy biscuits with eggs.
Oh, baby.
And mix it all together.
yeah,
I'll have
baby.
to send you some maple syrup. We have a local place here that makes it. Like they have the buckets on the trees catching the sap, and
You know,
Wow.
I like my pancakes with lots of butter and lots of syrup.
Yep.
And lots of bacon.
Yep. The more syrup, the better.
Well, you should start exporting that maple syrup to the South.
Although I do remember Burger King had a bacon sundae. And let me tell you, I mean, it's not something I'd like go there for all the time. But it was actually pretty good, the salty with the sweet.
I was wondering
And
how that
I
would
used
taste.
to like to dunk my McDonald's fries in my shake, But McDonald's shakes aren't as good as they used to be, and neither are their fries. So
Yeah.
Sometimes you just have to have something to cut that sweet with.
Mm.
Like a piece of fried chicken or something.
Piece of fried chicken.
there's something wrong with you.
Too. Now, see, I'm the person that if I've been up 30 minutes and I look in the daggum refrigerator for something to eat for breakfast,
Don't even.
and there's chili there, I'm ready. I'll eat chili.
oh yeah, I eat fish for breakfast all the time. People think
I have to have, if I'm going to eat breakfast, I mean, I'll cook breakfast for everybody and I'll eat it. But if I get up I'll go eat whatever's in the refrigerator.
yeah, I do
breakfast.
too. I don't care what I eat for breakfast.
Ugh.
I I mean, one time I was staying at my dad's house overnight. I was watching the house or something for him, and all he had was eggs and sardines in the fridge, you know. And then in the cupboard, all he had was sardines, and I was like, well, so I had eggs and sardines that morning.
Oh God.
No, I don't do sardines. Sardines, I've never been able to stomach sardines.
Oh, yeah, I like sardines. I like kipper snacks, sardines, canned salmon. I love canned salmon. I mean, I prefer fresh salmon, but how often do you get fresh salmon around here? You know?
Ooh, you should have said salmon, because now I want salmon stew, and I don't think I have any salmon.
What do you want?
Salmon?
Salmon stew.
Salmon?
The L is
Salmon.
silent.
Salmon?
Salmon. Salmon. Oh, that's right. Y'all don't pronounce the Y's up there. I mean the L's. It's salmon.
Salmon. The L is silent.
Salmon.
When
Not
I was-
salmon.
When I was about 9 or 10, I discovered that I started reading about Egypt and all the pharaohs and whatnot, and the pharaoh Ptolemy had a P in front of his name. It's Ptolemmy. And I told my mom I was going to start spelling my name with a P in the front that's silent, so I can move up the roll ledger, because the seating chart was in alphabetical order back when I was in elementary school. Instead of being at the very back of the pack, I was going to move up because my name started with a P, and my mom's like, you can't do that. Like, okay. But anyway.
I always had the opposite problem, and I hated it because I would always be like in the front.
But I bet you were always the teacher's pet.
No. No, I wasn't.
As she says it convincingly.
Wow.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh, I saw my 4th grade teacher at the local drug, it was like CVS or something. And I was walking in, and now listen, I haven't seen this woman since I was probably in 6th grade. She goes, "Oh my gosh, Bridget?" I'm like, "Yeah." She comes over, gives me this huge hug. "You were always my favorite," she says. Like, and this was the teacher I couldn't freaking stand when I was in school. Oh my gosh, we talked for hours.
Y'all killing me over here in the chat. Oyster stew. God, that's good too.
I don't eat seafood, so I guess all of it doesn't sound good to me.
Blasphemy. Blasphemy.
I don't eat any seafood.
Oh my God, I eat seafood every day of my life.
It's funny because
I'm with you, Nikki. Nikki, we're soulmates. I could too.
when
I
Chris and I first met, he's like, we went to a restaurant, and I can't remember how we got on the conversation, but because he asked them, "Do you fry your fish in the same fryer as like your other foods?" And they said no, they had separate fryers. And he's very allergic to seafood, all kinds of seafood, which is kind of weird because I don't eat seafood, so we thought that was kind of funny. Like, well, I don't eat seafood, so.
Oh my God, I love seafood.
I can get up in the morning and open up if we've like gotten takeaway from the fish camp, and I've got some like leftover oysters and shrimp and scallops and
oysters.
I can eat them babies. Like I can go in and just start eating them.
I taste
What is
like
it?
like having a big old loogie.
That's
falling
steamed ones. The steamed ones is when you steam them and they heat up and they pop open. The shells pop open, and then you just kind of like slurp them down. And if you get a good one, you can swallow it twice.
The only thing I'm slurping is my soup. That's it.
Yeah.
But I can eat mussel, but I can't eat one time when I was a little kid. Okay, my dad used to have kipper snacks all the time, right? He'd eat kipper snacks with beer.
The house
And-
kipper snacks.
Kipper snacks, they're herring in a can.
Okay.
Anyway, smoked herring.
Go ahead.
Anyway, and they come in a can. Well, anyways, my dad would have them but we weren't supposed to touch my dad's kipper snacks. He would share with me when he was eating them. I'd sit on his lap and he'd share them with me. and share his beer. But but you weren't supposed to just go take them, Well, anyways, one day I found a package in the cupboard, and I thought, ooh, I'm going to go outside and I'm going to eat these. All of them, I'm going to get a whole can to myself. And I really thought I had a treat, boy. And I went outside and I cracked them suckers open, and I ate one, and I darn near puked. Here it was a can of oysters. I was like, whoa.
No, I don't like canned oysters.
Oh, I damn near lost my lunch. Oh, ugh. And then when I was an adult, you know how your taste changed as an adult. Me and my husband, we went to seafood buffet. He took me out for Valentine's Day, and we went to the seafood buffet at the casino. And I was like, I'm gonna try oysters. I haven't had them since I was a kid. I didn't like them then, but maybe I'll like them now. There's a lot of stuff I didn't like as a kid that I like now. And I slurped that. It was yuck. They were in the shell. I was like, nope. Okay. I almost lost my lunch right there. Gary's
you ought to try fried oysters. Fried oysters are good. Frying makes everything good.
Catfish, I'm not a big fan of either.
Okay. Catfish is good too.
Catfish tastes like dirt.
Okay.
I know for you Southerners, that's like sacrilegious, but.
Oh, damn right. You get you a damn mess of fried catfish, some French fries, some hush puppies.
Because when I fish, I mean, there's some people who have made catfish taste okay. I mean, where it was edible, but yeah, generally I don't like it. But anyways, well, sometimes when I fish for walleye usually, right? And so, walleyes are bottom feeders also. So if you have your weight wrong or whatever, and your floaty configuration wrong, if you're a little off, then you end up catching some catfish. Well, I get those sucker. Oh, I didn't even want to touch them. But there's these people down at the dock where I fish, and they'll be happy to take all my catfish. So they're happy as a lark if I catch catfish. They're like, I'm like, here, you can have them all.
I tell you what the best catfish is, and that's the one that's about 20 feet long.
Ooh,
what'd you do?
Oh, I opened my water and it squirted all over me. Oh my God, that was cold.
Oh, jeez.
And I'm in the truck. So
oh my God.
Nikki, don't make those noises when you're driving.
Sorry.
I know.
I'm stopped. I'm sorry.
I was like, what the hell is she doing?
Oh my God,
I'm
Nikki.
sorry. That's cold. There's like water all over me. There's water all over me. Sorry, guys.
Thanks for giving us all a heart attack.
Thanks.
Sure.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Anytime. I'm here for you.
We know. You've done it multiple times.
I was concerned there.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
I mean, we know how Bridget drives, so, we're already on edge. I gotta make a box to ship this thing I just sold. Has anybody got any points?
Nope.
Nope.
Not yet.
Well, I sold something, but it was something I listed yesterday.
Well, that doesn't count.
Oh, well, I know, and I'm disappointed about it.
I'm just saying. Don't.
Irritated.
Uh-oh.
What?
What was that?
Oh, I just dumped some shit out of the box.
Oh, okay.
No, I didn't jump in the box. Still pick it up later.
Just dump shit out of a box.
I love Amazon because I use all their boxes.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
They have some of the best size boxes.
They do.
This one's
I
a
just
little bit
slapped
big.
my eBay tape right over the top of it.
Yep.
Hell, I don't even peel off. I peel off the labels, but like that new Christmassy tape that they seal the boxes with, I just slap my damn sealing my tape, clear tape right over the top of it, and keep on going.
I even send my Poshmark stuff and my eBay stuff. I don't care. People don't like it. Oh, well, they should have bought from somebody else.
Oh my God.
So everything is soaking wet right now.
Where'd you go?
Come on, Todd.
Well, I went to the post office and I went to the jeweler and I went. Anyway, I'm just fed up with, you know, this time of year, you try to make everybody happy, and it's hard, you know, because we're just got in-laws and more in-laws and their laws and our laws, and trying to fit everything together so we can celebrate and have a happy holiday together. And it's like, oh my God.
Aw, Todd, what's wrong? Are they picking on you?
No, it's just you have to get the old folks here and the young folks here, and then, well, where are they all going to sleep? Well, okay, what are we eating? Oh, well, when are y'all going to be where? Well, just golly. By the time Christmas gets here, I'm so tired, can't even enjoy it. So anyway,
Say, I'll be at home, so if y'all want to come over, that's fine.
Oh,
That's what I
no,
do.
no.
I'll be here.
It don't work like that. Not around our clan.
Everybody in my family knows Christmas is at Grandpa's house. Christmas, and for the Bowers, Christmas Eve. Well, this year we're changing plans. It's going to be at my daughter's house. But everybody knows that this is what we do every year. And if you don't show up, you know.
Yep.
And we do the same thing every year. I mean, I don't need to tell these people every year what we're going to do, because, and they just need to conform, or they need to just go blow it up their butt.
Just trying to fit celebrations around the boys' work schedules, and grandma got to pick her up, and my God, and it's just
Go get your mama.
And then keeping my wife's siblings happy and my brother happy and all of their families and in-laws. Oh my God.
Yeah. Well, that was the nice thing. The nice thing about our family was my husband's family did Christmas Eve and we did Christmas, so it worked out perfect.
Yep. We do. My family does Christmas Eve, and then Christmas Day is just for us to stay home and relax. Chris's family will do something, but
my nephew told their in-laws that's how we do it. That they'll do Christmas Eve with them and do Christmas with us, and it's been working out good.
We do Christmas, like this coming weekend, we'll be at Roberta's parents' house the weekend before Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And then on Christmas Day, we get up and we go down to my mom and dad's house for Christmas dinner, because it's only 30 minutes away.
Yeah.
Now, a good friend of mine, his sister had this stroke. That's what he says. He calls it a stroke. But there's nothing wrong with her. She decided that because Grandpa, my friend's dad, it's been real touch and go with him this year. He has decided that the whole family is going to meet at the beach in this big house they've rented, and they're going to do a big Christmas for him, for Grandpa.
Nice.
And my friend's like, he'd rather just lay down in the road and let somebody drive over him. Because
see what I'm saying? Everybody's got a story about how much work it is, or how much planning, and how much travel,
and it shouldn't be. And I'm so sick of that.
So hectic.
It's a lot of work. I do a lot of work every Christmas. Like I said, between Thanksgiving and New Year's, I make probably 30 pumpkin cheesecakes.
Oh, that sounds good.
And where's ours?
Yeah. What the hell?
Like, seriously?
Are you taking orders?
I know, right?
I make really good pumpkin cheesecake too.
Okay, thanks for. And then she rubs it in even more.
Yeah.
Just so you know, I make it really good too.
Yeah.
But I ain't giving you shit, you guys.
I had a way to ship it to you, I would.
Oh, you know how to ship? You're easy. You can ship anything. Remember?
Nikki's easy. I'll tell all the guys.
Yeah.
There you go.
I was talking to a friend about his little trip with the family, and first of all, it took him like 3 months to find a house, because they needed to find a house that there was a master on the main floor, so their father wouldn't have to do stairs. So they finally found that, and then they had to find one that had at least 6 bedrooms, because my friend has 4 brothers and sisters, and they're all showing up.
Sally,
and then
I think Sally's in love with your animal.
What?
Nothing. You look like you're really into that animal.
Anyways, Tom.
Go ahead.
But he was, and then they had to have a room big enough for, like, my friend's got 4 kids, and his older brothers and sisters have kids, and they have kids, and the whole damn family's going to be there. Oh, excuse me, the whole family is going to be there.
Yeah.
Family.
And then there was the menu, because they're all going to be down there all week. They're going to get that. They're checking in Sunday, and they're leaving Saturday. And he's like, I'm give out, and I haven't even done anything. And his wife she's going like, yeah, that's right, because I've had to do it. But he said it's been a total. It's just been so much work, and he said if it wasn't for his father, and like we never know who's going to be around next Christmas, he would say I am not participating. Because then they had started figuring out who's bringing what food and who's bringing what liquor and who's bringing, whatever.
You know what? I think if it's going to be that stressful, that you should do nothing. Because I think it's more about being around the family. And if everybody can't help each other out so it doesn't make it stressful for that one person, then I'm sorry. You don't need to come to my house. We don't need to get together. Whoever wants to come over and help out or whatever can come over. But you know what? My mother, she, when I was probably about 20, and my mom, she had stayed up all night baking and getting ready for Christmas dinner and everything. And she ended up going and picking up my aunt who didn't have a car and brought her to the house so that she could have Christmas dinner with us and everything. And after dinner, everybody passed out, everybody went to sleep and took naps and stuff. And we got a call. My mom had a freaking accident. And she ran into a tree because she fell asleep at the wheel. And it really made us realize, that all of that is not important. If if it's going to be so stressful, don't do it. It's not going to be worth it, and somebody's going to end up getting hurt or lost in the end.
Right.
My mom had her first heart attack on Christmas Eve because of that. Being up all night and stuff. Yep. And last year I told everybody, with my arthritis and stuff, I can't do it all anymore. And honestly, for Thanksgiving, everybody brought food. It worked out great. My daughter took care of the turkey and the ham for me. I was there, and she helped me make cheesecakes and stuff, so I didn't have to be stirring. So yeah, if your family truly loves you, they'll help you, and everybody was happy as a lark. Everybody got to, I said, what do you want to bring? I said, I'm going to have turkey and ham. You guys can bring everything else. And they all named off what dishes they wanted to bring. I ended up making ham and turkey, and I ended up making green beans and mushroom soup. And I think, I made the yams because my nephew was supposed to make them, but he dropped the ball. But that's no big deal. But otherwise everything else was taken care of, and they ended up bringing everything with them, and it worked out so good. It's hard for me to release that. It's hard for me to release that because I love putting on the dinner. I love cooking it all. I love doing it all. Just like my mother did. But eventually you have to say, hey, I can't do it all anymore. And that's right now until my medicine starts kicking in. I can't do all that stirring and lifting and stuff.
The biggest thing about my friend's trip is that his sister that has been made all the decisions. she can't do anything. You know, she can't ever do anything just moderately. Everything's got to be over the top. Like Christmas dinner, she is hauling. She's got 35 chargers, 35 dinner plates, 35 dessert plates, all this stuff that she's hauling from her house, just so they can set a really fancy Christmas, Christmas table.
I cook for over 30 people, and yeah, you could feed Cox's army with the food I make.
Yeah. Well, the point is that she's got all these decorations for the table and all this kind of stuff, and then she bitches about how much she's got to do, and he's like, "Well, you're the one that decided that you wanted to set a formal."
Yeah. Yeah. I never bitched about what I needed to do. I enjoyed it. I used to be the one that I took all my knickknacks down, put all my Christmas knickknacks up.
Yeah.
I used to wrap my pictures like little presents. Yeah, my whole house, it looked like Christmas puked in there.
I used to do that. I don't anymore.
No, I don't either. Last couple of years, I haven't done that stuff anymore. But I had over 200 potpourri pots, and I dust them every week. So.
Well, if you're going to have knickknacks up, like all my Disney stuff, you have to dust them all the time. You can't just not.
Yeah, I would literally take them down and wash them. Yeah.
You just can't let it go.
No. I don't have those potpourri pots anymore. There was a point where I was like, oh my God, why do I keep dusting these things? I kept a few of them, like the ones my mom gave me and stuff, but yeah, I don't have hardly any of them anymore. I went to go read the chat, and I accidentally called up your old show, and I was like, why is there only 5 people in the chat? I was like, God, everybody left? Wow, we must have really bombed this one. That's not even, we've got more than 5 regulars, for God's sakes.
Are there 5
watch us no matter what? We got more than 5 regulars that'll come on at 2 o'clock in the morning and watch us, for God's sake.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not one of those. Just like
I was like, yeah, there must be something wrong. Uh-oh, Tom's having problems.
She said that, and then she dropped off.
Well, good Lord.
I didn't do it this time, I swear.
Got kicked her out for being bad.
I'm not kicking people out, I promise. I won't kick you out, Kathy. You're being good.
I figured the mountains or whatever I'd go through if I do it. Eventually. Oklahoma.
What is going on?
Oh, nothing. I'm trying to respond to this offer by making counter offer, and then you click review and nothing's clicking.
Oh.
Oh, now it's okay. Submit.
There's a fun adventure.
Yeah, Tom, stop breaking the internet. It's all your fault.
He broke it.
Well, there's 3 things I have listed.
Man, it looks cloudy there.
Yeah, it went from sunny to cloudy. Like, we're gonna have like hit 50 seasons in the next few miles.
I don't like clothes. I hate lifting clothes. Freaking clothes.
I never messages back.
It's pretty bad when I look up clothing and I'm going, please don't be worth anything so I don't have to take pictures of you.
Please, just something I can donate.
Donate. No, it's going to the trash can.
Donate to the trash can.
Donate to the trash can. That's where I'm donating.
Oh, I'm really conflicted right now.
Aw, poor guy.
You see this watch?
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
No, screen share. Oh, okay, yeah.
No, it's right here.
Okay.
You big dummy.
Hey.
Anyway, oops. It's really nice.
Mm-hmm.
I want to keep it.
Well, keep it. You've made enough money off those watches.
I don't know. It's worth a lot of money.
How much is it worth?
I'll let you guess, but I gave my girlfriend $300 for it.
I'm gonna say
$2,000.
No, this one is not one of those surprise good ones. It's just a very nice gold watch. So
yeah, I was gonna say 12.
if I got 6 for it, 600, it would be great.
Oh, well.
So I don't know.
Hey, you know what?
Ever do that? I should sell that, but I think I'm gonna keep it. No, I should sell it. No, dang, I need to keep it. I like it.
You know what? List it for $1,200 and keep it, and then nobody will buy it, and you'll be good.
Yeah, if somebody buys it.
Or list it for like $2,000 or something.
Yeah, but I can't wear it because if I wore it, then while it's listed, then I would probably get it caught in the lawnmower blade or something and tear it up.
That'd be our luck too.
And somebody'd buy it and I'd send it to them. Hey, what's this big old chunk out out this watch?
Just put may have some wear. Just to be on the safe side.
This watch may have a lawnmower blade size chunk out of it, just so you know. Oh well.
Well, if you like
Get
it that
over it.
much, Todd, keep it.
I know you've made more than enough money on those watches to justify keeping one for yourself.
Yeah, I guess.
And plus, look at all this problems you're going with your this holiday season. You need a nice watch.
Oh, I guess.
And nobody's probably going to get you a watch that pretty if they tried, you know. Or something that you really like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
How often
guess.
are you gonna come across them like that?
Did I talk you into it?
I don't know. Can't
How hard are they to
decide.
find, Todd?
How hard?
Uh-huh.
Well, I wasn't looking for that particular watch, but once I got it, I was like, ooh.
I like it.
Purdy.
I like it.
So you should keep it.
Keep it, keep it. We say keep it.
Yep.
I don't know. I've thought about it.
And we're your sister wives, so you have to listen.
Yeah, that's the scary part. Sister.
Hey there, Ansley.
I can't handle the wife I've got.
Can you imagine having like 5 sets of in-laws? And...
Oh my
Lord.
God.
Oh,
They're over here.
Yeah, I wonder what sister wives do for Christmas celebrations. God. Just the sheer magnitude of relatives they're going to have to plan for. We did make a good decision this year, though. Everybody's going to quit buying for the nephews and nieces for Christmas presents.
That's good.
Used to not be a big deal until they start getting married and stuff, and then you feel like you got to get something for them too, and then
Yeah.
starts getting
And on and on. As soon as they have kids, and you got somebody else to buy for.
Yeah, my budget got blown for Christmas.
Yeah, happens. What's going on here?
Did we hit fog or something? Like Jesus.
Those trucks scared me to death.
Oh, I know. I'm waiting for one to come in our lane.
Mm.
Does it need to be a FedEx one, or one that's got good money? I can do a mailbox check, and I'll be all right. It got like real foggy here all of a sudden. Temperature's starting to drop.
All right.
I know. 6 degrees in a few hours. I hear Christmas music, I thought. What's that noise?
The truth says check your eBay charges, folks. I'm battling over $565.67 of overcharges. What the hell? Are they making it sound like it's a certain thing?
Is it shipping? How would they do that, I wonder?
That is weird.
It's a lot of money.
That's the only way I can think of that they would be able to.
That would be a lot of shipping.
FedEx, unless it's your FedEx charges coming in if you use a FedEx.
Oh, maybe. Okay. This does not work.
Do any of y'all use the, what is it, the 4XL or whatever, the thermal label maker?
I do.
No, I use a printer.
I use the 4XL.
You like it?
I love it.
I'm gonna ask Santa Claus for one for Christmas.
It makes it, to me, it just goes so much faster.
Do you ever worry about the labels coming off?
Nope. Never had an issue with the label coming off or like smearing or anything because it's thermal. And I don't put any tape over it.
I'm tired of cutting out labels and printing them.
Nikki turned me on to, you get those half sheets? Well, they're two labels on a sheet. You run them through your regular printer, and they just stick them on.
Oh, you like them?
Oh, yeah, they work good. And you can just run them through your regular printer. You don't have to buy like a special label maker for them.
Right.
And they're
Yeah,
not
she's been
that
trying to get me on
expensive.
that for a while.
No, they work real good, Sally. Nikki's right on that.
What's that?
You get the sheets. They get labels on a sheet. You put them right in your regular printer, and you just turn them around when you use one side. We use those. They work good.
Yeah, that's what I use.
Well, I guess that just makes Queen Bee special there, doesn't it? Because she's got one of the fancy machines.
I don't know. Well, maybe I'm cheap, Tom. So I'm like, well, good. I'll just use my printer for it, and I don't need to have a nibble maker hooked up then.
Well, I got mine for I think it was like $60 or $70 from a Lularoe site.
Yeah, I bought my printer are government surplus printers, and they're really, really good ones. And I think I paid $5 a piece for them. So because by a label maker, but that's not saying I'm right. It just says I'm a cheap ass.
He said that they screwed up overcharging a customer with their invoice.
I wonder how that happened.
I don't know.
Huh, I don't know. Never had it happen.
Never had it happen. No. So I don't know.
There's a dog toy.
So when's Jonah coming home, Sally?
What?
When's your son coming home?
The 23rd.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm happy.
Like
I
that.
thought your sons live locally.
He lives almost 4 hours away. Three and a half.
Ooh, quite a bit downstate from you, huh?
Yeah. Down by Grand Rapids.
Ah.
But I'm so excited to see him.
I like that.
Troy, have you got your Christmas tree packed ready to take to the new house?
Just tree down there when he was down there last time. We were packing stuff up. We found this. I've never had a white Christmas tree before. It must have come from an auction. I always kind of toyed with the idea of having 2 Christmas trees and having one white one and then one traditional one, and like doing a white one all in Star Wars. Anyway, so I must have seen a stupid tree, and so we come across it. So Jim took it down there and set it up. It has no ornaments on it because my ornaments are all packed away somewhere.
No, it came with ornaments on the box.
Oh, did it?
Oh, it was such a riveting story.
Yeah. Tom's like, oh, that's amazing. I gotta go now.
Riveting.
It's like when we're unpacking, when we're loading the box truck from the barn. It's like, which tree?
Oh, that was the only tree in there.
Well, there's more trees in there.
No,
I guarantee.
I threw away the other tree.
I would bet
I didn't like the way it looked
well,
anymore.
All right.
I got rid of it, and I don't really care for an artificial tree, but Jim keeps shoving them
Where's
down
the
my
one
face.
from last year that we had up last Christmas?
Yeah, I don't like artificial trees.
I didn't. I told you last Christmas I don't like the way this tree looks anymore. I'm getting rid of it. And I threw it away.
I didn't think you actually did it.
No, I did it
All right.
because I knew you wouldn't.
Death of the tree.
I love that tree.
I don't like artificial trees.
I always had a real tree until I married Jim, but his family is artificial trees.
We always
they
had
try shoving them down my throat
until I had kids, and then I'm like, oh, I want a real tree. And now I kind of regret going get real trees because now that my daughter is 21, she still wants to trudge out to and cut her own tree down. Like now,
that sounds cold.
Trees, but they're too much.
I like to go to the tree lot, buy my real tree, then have my significant other put it in a stand to make sure it's
No.
level.
Yeah, and you know
Bring
what?
it in the house, and then I decorate it.
I like to get the cardboard box, put together the tree. It's perfectly level. It's sitting in a stand that's made for it. You know, the tree is always the same size. I don't have to like trim the trunk so fit the damn.
It's part of the Christmas tradition.
Put freaking water in it.
The fun part is trimming it, because then you use the trimmings to make like a little swag or something for your door.
Well, what we do is we just have somebody go out and cut one and bring it in and set it up.
Tom just sends the help to go get his tree.
That's right.
Oh my!
And then I sit and drink brandy by the fireplace where they decorate it and sing Christmas carols to me.
Tom's roasting chestnuts and drinking brandy while he's got the servants setting up the tree.
That's right. See, I think I could have been. I could have lived pretty nicely back in the late 1800s, early 1900s in England when they had all the staff, and if I had been from a wealthy
A lot
family.
of staff in the South too, Tom. Maybe that ain't the time that you should have been in.
Yeah, but there's a lot of feedback on that staff we had in the South. No, we just got a little artificial tree that we put up and decorated it with mismatched, a little bit of everything. My mother does.
mine's that way too.
My mother does themed Christmas trees. Everything's in purple, lavenders, or reds and pinks, or we have ornaments from when we've traveled, and we'll buy.
Yeah.
Like I've got a lobster from the Riverwalk Mall, the old one, down in New Orleans.
Yeah.
And every time we decorate the tree, we're like, "Oh, remember when we were in the New Orleans?" And then my wife has to talk about my best friend and I drinking hurricanes down there.
Yeah, mine are a mixture of souvenir ornaments or just something I like, and then I have kid ornaments or my grandmother's antique ornaments, and it's just all a mixture. But I like it that way.
I do
don't have
too.
The only thing I thought about when I said I seriously, I just didn't have time. I seriously thought about buying 2 Christmas trees and doing a white one all in Star Wars, because I have all these Star Wars ornaments. I'm like, that'd be kind of cool if you did just a Star Wars tree. But obviously, I'm not going to do that this year.
Well, next year you can, because when you have inviting everybody over for all the neighbors over to the plantation.
No, Tom. No, we don't entertain
talking to?
Yeah. No, we don't entertain people.
I was gonna say, Tara, if you need any more Star Wars, ornaments, let me know, because my St. Vincent's has a ton of them.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Cool. How much are they charging for them?
Are they reasonable?
I think they're like in little baggies, and I think they're like maybe $1.
Oh, wow, well, they're cheap
per bag.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll take them
Yeah,
all.
for like 3 or 4 of them or something.
Well, let me know when you're going.
All right, and I'll send you a picture or something to show you what they have.
Yeah.
For $1.
Yeah, for $1, I probably won't care. Because you could have duplicates because you got to cover a whole tree. So.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got this Christmas village that I started buying this year. We have these Menards stores up here. They set up all these Christmas villages. And like for years, I'll be like, oh, I really want that Christmas house, Jim. And I'd buy the smaller ones that kind of go with it. But I'm always too much of a cheapskate to buy the actual. It's called the Yulesteiner. It's this whole big beer brewery. Which
oh my God.
turns around and stuff. And so this year I actually treated myself and I bought it for myself. Anyway, so yes, this is my eclectic taste. Mismatched tree and this big Bavarian brewery Christmas houses. Anyway, it's white trash Christmas at our house.
Oh yeah, do you want to hear how it really happened? She goes to the store like she does every year, like 6, 7 different times, and stands and stares at the Yulesteiner house that's with the little Germans dancing around and pushing around beer bottles, and says, "Okay, well, maybe I'll come back. Maybe if it'll go on sale a little further, or whatever." Finally, this year, I'm like, "Why don't you just buy the damn thing? Because when you come back, they're going to be gone." like every year. So this time I forced her to buy it, and we bought it, and we came back like, I don't know, not even a week later, and she went back over there, and they were all gone. So we got, I think there was 3 left when she took hers, and there was 2 left after that, and those 2 were then gone. So they sell out every year.
Wow.
So that's why
That's
she winds up getting it.
Christmas like a brewery.
Yeah. And it plays like German music the whole time. It's, has LED lights in it. They're the little German guys.
They got
in
like
there.
a little line of beer mugs going or whatever. It's all animated.
And it's playing this cheesy German music.
No, I paid $100 for that thing, Ansley. No, trust me when I say I'm cheap. I'll spend $20
Yeah, we'll
to
get
treat
11%
myself.
back because it was 11% off everything in the store.
It was marked down to $99.99. I think before that was like $125. They're expensive. That's why I never buy them.
What's that dancing German guys? That's not cheap.
I was watching this YouTube video about this guy in this train set, and he's got like a building in his backyard, and it's free spanning. There's not no support poles, so his train set runs all through this building, and
Ooh,
he's
sounds
got
cool.
it's a hoe scale, and
I might know him.
it's got. He's got like rivers that actually flow, and waterfalls that actually run, and he's got all these little villages everywhere, and he's got like an industrial.
Where is he?
I don't remember. I don't know where he was at. He was up north, though. I could tell by the accent. But he has a little pulpwood plant, and he can take like a bunch of the floating logs and set it upstream, and they flow down to the pulpwood factory. And his wife said he's never drank. He's always worked like 12 hours a day at his job. And she said this has been his beer money, his cigarette money, his bar money. And she said they had it appraised for insurance, and the appraiser appraised it at $2.5 million.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Just because of all the little automated stuff they have going on, like the waterfalls and the lakes, and he has a lock that actually works, and it was amazing.
When I went by Nikki, we went in, was it the aquarium? Anyway, they have like a train layout, but it's for the Great Lakes with real water. And then you send your ship through there, and you ship it through the locks, like you put it in the lock and raise the water level and then open the gate and the boat goes down through the water. It's super cool. Then they have like these little power plants and stuff all up and down the lakes. It was big.
But you walk around it. Yeah, it's a layout. And
it was cool.
You can make a boat actually climb the river. You can make the boat go upstream.
Wow.
But it's for kids.
Yeah, the water's flowing. It always has
children.
current.
It's not for adults. It's actually for little kids to learn how to these locks and stuff work.
Yeah, but the adults are all playing with it.
Yeah, the adults are all playing with it. The kids had no interest in it. But it's actually for kids.
That was. Do y'all remember when the World's Fair was in Knoxville?
Well, I didn't go to it, but I've heard of it.
They had. We went.
It would have been like 1982, wasn't it?
1980, I think.
No.
But
I went to the 1962 World's Fair.
You did
Where'd
not.
they have that?
I did.
where was that
I
at?
went to the
Seattle.
Chicago World.
Okay.
Wow.
Oh, Seattle. I got
That's
a bunch
when
of stuff from the 32 Chicago World's Fair. I had an aunt that went to it, or a great aunt.
That's when they
Anyway.
built the
Tennessee-
Space Needle.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
Okay,
Tennessee
but
Authority.
Todd, you interrupted Tom's story with
Sorry,
you trying to
I was
copy
trying
it.
That's all right.
Oh, I think that's kind of cool that he went to that.
Yeah, me too. But they had the Tennessee whatever authority had a set of locks that they, that actually worked, and the ships would move down through it. It was real interesting.
Oh yeah.
That's it.
They got that lake, and you can scuba dive, and they have like old buildings underneath it. Where they flooded, where that TVA made those lakes and stuff.
Right.
Where you can see like the building foundations and stuff.
No, there's so you can actually go into the buildings. The buildings are still upright.
Oh, there's enough of them left.
Yep.
Oh.
I like stuff like that. My kids are like bored in like 2 minutes. I can go in there and I can look around and I.
Yeah, I like that stuff. Like if you go to Disney at Epcot, you go do like the land tour, which you ride in a boat and it tells you about like farming and agriculture. I like that, but my son, he loves that kind of stuff. They'll have like the hydroponic gardens and stuff.
Right.
I mean, he just thinks that's awesome. The only thing I'll criticize about that is they have this little thing like how in the 1930s farmers didn't take very good care of the land and stuff. I don't like that part, but I'll let it go.
Well, when they legalize the growing of medicinal marijuana down in Kentucky, you can set him up with a hydroponic farm.
No.
If hippies use it, he's not interested.
I have no problem. What anybody does is their own business, but I personally do not care for that, so I wouldn't want to encourage my son to be involved with it if I can help it. No offense to anybody, that's just me personally. I'm like an old prude old lady who's like, oh no, why are you doing that?
If you're a man and you grow your hair long, he don't like it. If you smoke grass, he don't like it. Brandon is like this 1960s. He's like reminds me of like one of the guys who drove the squad car in Adam 12.
He
totally
reminds
straight.
I had this World War II uncle, and he reminds me a lot. I don't know how the personality traits came through, but I mean, a lot of times he reminds me of that. There's this girl in his class a couple years ago who her dad had a ponytail. She goes up to her out of a kid's mouth. Was your dad some kind of hippie or something?
Oh, gosh.
Well, when he sets up the concrete animal zoo in your backyard at the new house, and he's giving everybody tours, you got to remind him he can't criticize the paying.
Oh, yeah, and you shouldn't pick on people.
Right. They just paid you
But
money.
he's almost his personality is like from a bygone time. He's like Mr. All-American, I said you should be a cop when you grow up because he's very much, well, is that legal? It's very black and white. What is right? What is wrong? There's no like gray or anything. He's very like, this is right, this is wrong, Anyway. He should be a cop because actually he's probably good at it.
And Knoxville was 82. I was thinking it was an 80, but True 72 said it was an 82.
The only reason is I think I've gotten like patches from it or some kind of souvenir from it.
Where did you get that from?
I don't know. Must be in my blood or something. I don't know.
Because Jim seems to be pretty open-minded liberal,
No.
What was the name of the TV show that had Michael J. Fox in it? And he was always the conservative Republican, and his family was all the liberal.
That wasn't Growing Pains. That's the other one.
I don't remember.
What was it show Michael J. Fox about?
Oh no, it wasn't.
Somebody just said the name.
Family Ties?
Family Ties.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is he what was it, Michael J. Keaton or whatever his name was?
Yeah, he was he was in the Junior Reagan and the picture of Reagan on it.
So is that how Brandon is?
I can tell you personally, I remember sitting or laying on the living room carpet with my elbows on the floor, holding my chin up with my hands and crying when Richard Nixon was giving his resignation speech. I was in tears. so it runs deep.
You're old.
Were you able to vote for him?
No, I wish. I wasn't able to vote for Reagan the first time. I wasn't old enough, but I got to vote for him the second time.
I voted for Reagan, my first election. One of Sasha's friends, my son's friends, ran cross country with Sasha, and I got to know his mom and dad pretty well, and his younger brother. And his younger brother is Pierce, and he's named after Pierce Brock.
Oh boy.
Because his mother, she thinks he is all that in a box of chips. But anyway, he has no filter. He's 11 years old. He's an avid Republican, and he don't care who knows it. His mom was telling me they were coming out of a restaurant, and there was a guy wearing a Hillary Clinton T-shirt on. And he said, "Well, the poor trash has got here."
Oh my gosh!
And his dad just took his hand and put it over his son's mouth and said, "Get out of here, let's go." And then they had a 45-minute ride home, going, "You've got to learn to watch your mouth when you're out in public. Somebody's will kill you or kill me because they can't kill a child." Anyway,
politics too much outside of home. I mean, like when he's at home, he watches a lot of political. He watches like Political Juice. It's a YouTube show that's about like kind of politics and history of politics and stuff. He'll watch that kind of stuff and he'll talk to us about it, and maybe a little bit at school, but not too much. I mean, actually, he's got a check valve where he doesn't put his opinion too much out in public.
I had to cover Krista's mouth when we were in Boston. They were having a Trump rally. Or anti-Trump rally. They're having anti-Trump rally, and we're walking right by it. I put my hand right over his mouth. I said, "Keep walking," because I want to hear it.
Valerie's in the chat. Hey, Valerie.
Hey, Val.
Hey, Valerie.
Wait, which Valerie? Oh, hey, Valerie.
Chick Picker
Valerie.
Ah. Now we're all quiet because she's here, so we don't know what to say.
I know.
We'll get all in again.
Sally texted her to say, "I've totally lost control of my show. Can you come in here and shut them up?"
What? So somebody needs to get kicked off?
There's somebody in here called Chick Picker.
Yeah, we got a troll in here.
Oh. Hi, sis.
I had to kick her out.
Where are you going, Kathy?
They're going to Arizona.
What? Oh, they're going to Arizona? Wow.
Yeah, we're having to drive.
Her father-in-law's not doing good.
So we figured we'd take y'all on the road trip with us.
Oh.
Why not?
That's a long drive.
I know. Y'all got at least 8 hours of scenery, so you get bored.
There you go.
Tara, the little boy I was just talking about, he's got he's got a T-shirt that has a picture of a silhouette of Ben Shapiro on it.
Uh-huh.
You know who he is? You know who he is?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, he's got a picture on it, and he tells everybody, "This is my hero," because he tells it like it is. And his mom's like, "I don't know when I'm going to when every time." Both his parents are concealed handgun carriers. She says, "I never know when I'm going to have to pull out my pistol to protect us because of this kid."
Well, the part of the state I live in,
He'll be a political science major.
Maybe. The part of the state I live in is very conservative. So, like here, I mean, 90% of the people are conservative Republicans. You know, even though the state of Wisconsin does go Democrat a lot, I mean, it's usually the southern part of the state pulling that. I mean, the part I like, they do the mock, like when the presidential election was, they do like their little classroom mock elections. I mean, the Republicans always win it in the classroom up here, you know.
Well, I live, if you've read in the paper or heard on the news about the district in North Carolina that is, they're having questionable votes and things like that.
Yeah.
And they're talking about having to do another election. That's the count. That's the district I live in. That's the my district.
Yeah.
Right in the heart of all the action.
Yeah.
There goes everybody running away from politics.
Run. She lost like 20 people. No.
Yeah. 3 actually.
Oh,
All right, no more politics talk.
Get out of this politics. No.
Run. We're gonna slow down. Oh, Sally kicked
That's
him
so
out. You're
funny,
talking
though.
politics.
I mean, I could care less. I don't like politics, so I could care less. But I know it causes.
That's the
people
funny
to-
thing about politics.
It's like religion.
Yeah.
But usually in
Funny
this
thing
group,
about it is everybody
we
has
know.
got varying degrees of politicism, you know. They're either avid or semi-avid or don't care, or you lean one way or you lean the other way. So it's like, you know, you can never find 2 people that just totally agree down the line, straight, you know.
Nobody's gonna totally agree now.
So,
Todd,
yes,
talk about your experience at the fair. That's kind of cool.
fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1932.
In the 70s.
In 1962.
Marcel said
60s?
1932.
Oh.
Huh?
Marcel said 1932. He's messing with Tom.
So, like, how old were you, Todd, when you went there?
I was 8 or 7. I was 7. So yeah, got to ride up in the Space Needle and look out over the harbor at the. Back then, that harbor was crammed with World War II Navy vessels that hadn't been torn down yet. They were just sitting at dock waiting to be scrapped. You know, they built so many ships during World War II to beat off the Japanese that they were.
That's where my uncle sailed out of during World War II. He was in the Pacific Theater and he sailed out of there.
Yeah, there were just miles of, you name it, cargo ships, and they still had the gun emplacements on them and everything. And I remember putting a nickel in the view, the telescope at the top of the Space Needle and looking out over the harbor.
Did you get to go on the monorail?
Yeah, we did the monorail. And the thing about that, it was such a beautiful park. They had fountains everywhere, just gushing fountains. The one exhibit I liked the best was the futuristic car that they had. And by today's standards, it would be, I don't know, it's probably bigger than my pickup truck. And I got a Ford F-250.
What was it called? A futuristic car?
Yeah, it had a bubble dome top on it. Here, I'll find a picture of it.
I want to say screen share, please.
Yes, please. I would like to see that.
Because we know you got pictures.
Let's see.
But they had the World's Fair in Chicago. They had like flooded these canals and had like gondolas and everything.
That was, yeah.
Okay, screen.
Did you go to the New York
share.
the New York World's Fair? Did you go to that one?
I did not.
Oh.
So here's that car. It was kind of built like a rocket ship.
Wow.
And they had the models just like this lady here. They were standing around. Ooh, look at that. Ah.
Looks like the Batmobile.
Not that
Yeah,
one.
that's what I was gonna say.
That is cool.
And then these things that stood up, that was just there because they were there to look pretty.
They're just arches.
Yeah.
Like he couldn't get in between us.
There's the monorail. Let's see.
Oh wow, they had electricity.
If you drive the futuristic car, you're gonna score girls like these models. Guaranteed.
Yeah, so there's a picture of the Space Needle.
Oh wow, they're gonna try to bring the World's Fair back to Minnesota in 2023.
Oh wow.
Because
Really?
we haven't had one in the U.S. since 1986, but they still have them in other countries and stuff. So I guess they're trying to bring it back to the U.S. in maybe 2023.
Yeah, what the hell?
I know they should.
That's really interesting.
That's neat, Todd.
Yeah, Minnesota.
Yeah, we were, let's see. Dad was too cheap to take us to the restaurant at the top, but so we would just go, we just went out on the observation deck and
I've been there. I've been there before too.
there's the mountain in the background. It was just a beautiful, I mean, they spared no expense to make the park really a beautiful place. And it was all kind of based on futuristic stuff.
Well, I bet at that time Seattle wasn't that big, right? Seattle was just a little thing.
I don't know. It's a big town. Had a big port.
Was it?
Oh yeah, Seattle was big, right?
Seattle has always been kind of big. But yeah, going around to the exhibits of cars like this they had out there, and
Well, I think it's really cool that you went to that.
that was a long time ago, you know.
I mean,
on the way we visited Mount Rushmore, and we did all kinds of stuff on that trip. Crater Lake, we saw all kinds of stuff during that trip.
I'd like to meet somebody that went to the New York one, just to know, like, because they rode like It's a Small World for the first time. You know, that's where it was set up.
I have a few slides that I haven't sold off yet. And I was looking at them probably 2 months ago or something. And there is the things from the World Fair in New York.
Oh, that's cool. I want to know somebody that actually like rode up, like, because that was the Small World that Disneyland has now. But it was
those things that were up in the air.
No. At the New York World's Fair.
Yeah, the big spaceship-looking thing.
The observation platforms.
No.
No, that's not what you're talking about.
I'm talking about.
No, she's talking about the Small World ride.
Yeah, Walt Disney built the Small World ride at the State Fair. That's where it was.
Oh, okay.
World Fair.
Yeah, the World Fair.
Yeah, with the Carousel of Progress.
The Carousel of Progress
Yes.
too was the world.
Yeah.
Which I have to drag people on with me because I still like that ride.
Oh, I love that ride.
Yeah, we go on all of. Only I just don't go on real scary rides. But that's like a good ride if you want to sit down and take a break. Because again, when you're with Jim, you don't take any breaks. You have to walk the entire time you're there. So like Carousel of Progress, Hall of Presidents, it's a nice place to go take a break.
Yeah, when you're with me, you chase the dragon. The needle does not come out of your
He
arm.
won't stop. He won't go watch the parade. He's like, no, I'm not watching the Main Street parade. We have to, that's the best time to get rides.
Yep.
Oh yeah, we don't do the parades. That's when we do rides and stuff because everybody's
Yeah.
watching the parade.
Yeah, that's what the lines are the shortest.
The parade's for noobs.
Yes. Yep. Once you see it once, you're good. And the fireworks too. Like, you know, we won't really watch the fireworks too much because we'll go on the rides because everybody's waiting for them.
And you can go on YouTube and see all the parades. You can go on YouTube and see all the
and it's
parades,
so
all the fireworks.
packed. The parade route is so packed, and I just don't like standing that close to
And there's people like hitting you in the back of your legs with their strollers and they're screaming kids and stuff. I'm like, I'd just rather be on a ride right now.
Yep.
I've never been. Come to think of it though, I mean, I've never really been a huge parade person. One parade I saw in Beaver Dam, Wisconsin. It was either 4th of July or Memorial Day, but they had an M1 Abrams tank, and the guy was on top of it with a machine gun, a belt-fed machine gun, and it shot blanks. He rolls up in this tank, which is impressive enough. I mean, it's a gigantic vehicle. Rolls up in front of us, and all of a sudden, the guy gets a little bit of a grin on his face. He's got the tank helmet or whatever, and he pushes down the trigger. I mean, this machine gun starts going off and spitting brass or whatever. I mean, you want to see people drop by like 2 feet in height. I mean, it scared my kid is just clinging to me like a little monkey. I mean, but then he moved on, and then the thing rumbles on down the street, and then goes a little further, and then he shoots it again when he's like a block down the street. Like, oh my God, is that impressive? Especially when it's right in front of you. That I remember. But most of the stuff in parades, I'm like, yeah, I can take it or leave it. It's a float.
When I go on vacation, I don't go on vacation to lay in bed and sleep. I can stay at home and lay in bed and sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to get up and I want to.
Yeah, like Jim's brother will go to Disney and they'll get a hotel room or whatever, and then like at noon they got to go take a rest in the hotel room and stuff.
Yeah,
we would just never do that.
Yeah.
It's like you have to hit the park from it opens till it closes.
Yeah.
When he was with me, I got him so run down and so bad with heat exhaustion that he got sick in Pecos Bill's bathroom.
Oh gosh, I like that restaurant.
We're on our way to go see Pirates of the Caribbean again, and he was like so bad for me. His face was all flushed. He went in Pecos Bill's and got sick because he was from like heat exhaustion.
Yeah, my sister's always like she likes to go to Sandals in Jamaica, and they're always trying to talk us into it. And I said to her, I said, my vacations are not just laying out on the beach. I like to go. I don't want to. I just can't do. I can't just lay around on the beach, and that's just not me.
No, I would want to be like jet skiing or something, or take a boat. I would want to go see, like, if I went to the Bahamas, which actually I'd like to do. I want to go see the swimming pigs. Maybe go check out Atlantis. What I would really like to do, but I'm not brave enough to do it. I would like to do it. You put a jet ski in South Florida and take the jet ski the 80 miles across to Bahamas yourself. But I'm not brave enough.
Oh wow,
that sounds cool. That
yeah,
sounds
but
really
they're
exciting.
like that is not for the amateur jet skier. I mean, you have to know traveling on the ocean and stuff because it does get rough out there, and you have to have like extra gas, and you should have a support coat and stuff. But to me, I mean, that sounds like fun, but I'm not brave enough to do it.
When we went on the cruise, days at sea, you're just relaxing, hanging out, that kind of stuff. The day we were in ports, we went out, we did a lot of stuff. But it's the type of vacation, and we needed it. We wanted to rest and just relax and drink. And but if I go to Disney or someplace like that, if I go to Carowinds for the day, I'm gonna get my damn $100 worth out of that park.
Anywhere I go on vacation, though, like Tara said, I'd want to be doing something, visiting somewhere, seeing something. I don't want to be laying around on the beach. I would be bored.
Yeah.
I'm not a beach slayer, and I grew up along the coast. I start thinking about. I'm laying there and I start thinking about stuff, and then I have to get up and at least go walking.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a doer. I gotta do something.
My
I
only
like walking on the beach.
My only trip to Disney World was back circa 1977. When you still had to have the individual tickets, you bought individual tickets to everything.
Mm-hmm.
Jim was probably there too. What year did it open, Jim?
70
And what was the first year you went?
75.
Oh.
April of 1975.
And then you went every year as a kid, didn't you?
We went in a 1972 Dodge pickup truck crew cab. Me and my sister, it had those little jump seats, you know, those ones that would pop out of the wall of the truck and had like a U-shaped piece of metal with the leg of this. So me and my sister had to sit facing each other because they didn't face forward. Is it really? You know what I mean? It's like it was just like a space behind the seat. It really wasn't a back. Not like today where you have like leg room. We had to face each other, so our knees are facing each other. We had to sit staring at each other the whole trip. But we didn't give a crap because we were going to Disney World. We were so damn happy. Oh man, I remember my mom was like, "This is too expensive." We talked her into it. We went. Oh my god! And then we went every year after that.
And it is expensive, and you got kids, it gets real expensive.
It wasn't expensive back then, though. I mean, it was a lot cheaper back then, but because that was what Disney wanted. He wanted to keep it affordable for people. But you know, now it's gotten. And honestly, they have to charge that much, or I mean, no one could ever go on any damn rides because I mean, you got so many damn people in there now that it's almost. I mean, even on the slow times now, it's almost like you got to go outside the park to change your mind. I mean, you're just always surrounded by people.
Well,
No, I love it.
if you're ever there, like walking on the street, like when it's really crowded, you'll start seeing the people having like the Disney breakdown where they're fighting with their family and stuff. They're all like stressed out.
That's part of the magic, though.
Yep.
Or Jim was married to his first wife. He tells me his story. Obviously, I wasn't there. They had a Disney meltdown and they had to leave early. He's like, "How in the hell can you be unhappy in the happiest place on earth?" But anyway,
she was complaining she's hot. She's wearing a black dress
in Florida,
and I mean it was hotter than hell. And I'm like, "What are you thinking? Oh, I like it." Or whatever. I'm like, "Okay."
you should have left her in the hall of
She's all
presidents.
hot, you know, heat flashing and whatever. I'm like, "You gotta run. You gotta move.
Oh
Pick
my
up your
God.
feet. Pick them up and set them down." For Christ's sake.
Oh my God, I'm glad you don't talk to me like that.
Well,
Jesus
you
Christ.
move. When I say move, you gotta move. God dang it! Oh yeah, she was weak.
Why did you push her in a wheelchair? Then you could have pushed her at your own speed.
I should have loved her.
Funny.
Jeez, I wonder why it didn't work out.
We're compatible.
When
He was not
Roberta and
ready
I,
for combat.
when Roberta and I went to Australia, we were there for 2 days. I mean, 2 days, 2 weeks.
You went to
And
Australia? You were only there 2 days? Wow.
Oh
my
That
we
money
were
bag.
doing
Mr.
something
Moneybags.
every day. We were out doing something every day because, you know, we figured that we would never make it to that part of the country again.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
a
the
long
world.
drive.
The world.
The world.
You know, I'm an American. Everybody belongs to America.
The Monroe Dog.
Oh my God.
But it might have not been doing anything like spectacular. We went and walked through parks and things like that and went to memorials. But the fact is, like I said, we'll probably never make it back there again in our lifetime.
Right.
And
Yeah.
and our best friends they're the same way. We're not laying in bed till 10 o'clock. We're going to be eating breakfast about 7, and we're going to be on the first tour.
Hell, 7,
Yeah.
6.
Uh, y'all can-
Disneyland in California, Jim? Tara?
No, never.
No.
Was your mom there, or was it?
Yeah, oh yeah, because my mom lived in Pasadena.
When she went to it,
Yeah.
they were open before they moved out of there.
Yeah. She lived there for like 4 years. My mom was born in Chicago, lived in California for about 4 years, and then moved back to Chicago.
I want to go there.
My wife and my son and my mother-in-law went to California. My wife had a business meeting, and my mother-in-law and my son just went to go to California. They were across the street from Disneyland. Did they go to Disneyland? No.
You gotta be kidding me.
I am not. They went to SeaWorld.
Oh, no.
No.
And they didn't even go to Disney City or whatever they call it. You know what?
Downtown.
Downtown.
Yeah,
Disney.
they're
Yeah, now they
downtown
call it something else and renamed it. So something Springs or something.
No, I think
Disney
it's
Springs.
downtown Disney in California, isn't it?
Oh,
No, I was talking about California.
we're still in Cal. Okay.
I think it's still downtown in California.
Bonnie,
Okay.
it's just the trash truck.
I would have went just so I could have said I went to the place that the magic began.
It all
Yeah.
started. I want to go to Disneyland.
Yeah, when Brandon was younger, he was real into the Cars movie, and Disneyland is the one that has the Cars ride, you know, where you ride in, they look like they're Cars characters.
You know, they tear down these massive rides. And, you know, if it was me, I think we would see about making these things mobile. So we could take it to Charlotte for a year and set it up in one of these abandoned damn buildings we have around here. So, you know, give people a taste of Disney and then move it up north. And, you know, and then once it's done the country, then take it apart.
I read a thing about Jaws in Universal because I was like, it was a very popular ride, but one of the problems with it was the cost of running it. It was high maintenance for a bunch of reasons, the animatronics and stuff, but it was the amount of fuel that it used every time we went through because there's all those explosions. I mean, it costs like a lot of money every time they had people go through it. So was one of the reasons for the decision to shut it down. Not just they need the real estate. Sometimes it's actually the maintenance on the ride is too much for what it's bringing in. But I'd like to go Tokyo Universal Studios just to go on the Jaws ride again because they still have it in Japan.
Yeah.
Have you seen pictures of Disney World, like Shanghai or Tokyo? Oh my God, it's gorgeous.
And you know what? Some friends of mine
That's it, we're
with their
going.
own business.
Well, didn't the one in Paris didn't make it? Didn't they close that one down? Did they close
No,
down
it's-
Disney Paris?
I don't want. I got no interest in France, but I definitely go to
Well, you
Japan.
can speak
If-
French.
If Disney's there, I went because that's what all the girls were in.
Yeah, but you could get us around the country because you could speak it. Say something in French. Make it sound smart.
Ligne mauvais.
There, see?
It's the line is bad. You know, if you're on the phone.
I've never had a want to go to Disney because I'm afraid that I would pay all that money and not really be able to go on rides because it's so dang busy.
No, you can do it. We've been there in busy times too. You can get on.
Yeah, but avoid. If you don't have to go. If you're not towing kids with you, I mean, you don't have to go at Christmas or Easter or spring break. Go like in early June before all the schools are out. That's a great time because people are planning their summer vacations, but they can't go yet, so they won't go to Disney until they can all go, en masse in like the third or fourth week of June. But the first 2 weeks of June usually it's slow. September, right after school starts, that's another.
That's when we always
go. Because your money goes so much farther. I mean, you paid $100 when you pay $100 and some to get in the door. It seems like a bargain when you get to go on rides literally all day, one after another. I mean, it's a bargain.
Yeah.
But when you go there and you can literally only go on 4 rides because of the wait times and stuff. I mean, then and you're standing in line most of the time in the blistering sun or whatever.
Yeah.
Screw that.
We don't do park hoppers. We do one park each day. We stay in that park for the whole day. So we'll do Magic Kingdom one day, Animal Kingdom one day, Hollywood Studios one day, and then sometimes we do Epcot. Which actually we should try to do Epcot more because it's better than it was.
And the reason I don't do the park hopper is because of the loss of time from going from park to park. Because you lose like about 45 minutes to an hour switching parks. Which,
oh my God, 35 minutes.
Yeah, well, I'm squeezing every goddamn second out of it. Let me tell you, I get my money's worth.
I'm with you, Jim. I'm with you on that.
I'm the same.
Yeah, he's got to figure out how long it takes you if you have the park hopper, how much time you lose by leaving one park and going to the next park. So we can only stay in one park for the whole day. Exception was last time we were there, we got the free park hopper tickets, and we only spent about half a day at Epcot. So Jim's like, we're walking. He's like, well, let's go finish it up over in Magic Kingdom. And they close. Brandon's walking down the street. People turn and look. He's like, oh, come on, not Magic Kingdom again. Anyway, because we like run him ragged. He couldn't take it anymore.
My mom and dad live in Kissimmee. They're in this cul-de-sac, and they got these gay neighbors who are directly across from them. It's a man couple, and they both work for Disney.
But like higher up in the office,
Yeah.
corporate part of Disney.
They're rolling this grill out, and my mom's like, "Go ask them for their grill." I'm like, "They're gonna throw it away." I go, "Mom, they're not gonna throw away a nice stainless steel grill like that." She goes, "Yeah, they are." She goes over, "Hey guys, are you throwing that grill away?" And they're like, "Well, yeah." She goes, "Can we have it?" They're like, "Oh, sure." So anyways, I score this really nice grill off these guys.
Oh yeah, like a $900 grill. It's one of those real nice stainless steel outdoor ones.
So then they're like, "Well, so who are you?" Introduce myself or whatever. And they're like, "Oh yeah, great." Next day, they stop over. And I wasn't there when they did it, but they stopped over and gave my mom tickets for me, Tara, and Brandon to go back to Disney. So we got another whole day for free park hoppers.
Oh,
Nice.
wow.
I love those guys.
We do park hoppers because we stay on property. So we, you know, if like we're in Magic Kingdom for the day and then we want to do dinner at Epcot or something, that works out.
Yeah. Yeah, see, we don't really eat much for dinner there. We'll eat in if we eat there, we eat in whatever kingdom we're in.
You got time for a turkey leg or one of those Mickey Mouse ice cream bars? That's it.
Yeah, he makes us eat at Pecos Bill cafeteria style in his fast.
Oh,
And we
Pecos
eat
Bill is
fast.
good, though.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like you don't sit at a table and get served, so you're gonna eat faster there. Or he did let us at Animal Kingdom. He let us eat at Rainforest Cafe. It was the only time ever that he let us eat in like a sit down type
The
restaurant.
Rainforest Cafe at Animal Kingdom, the home of the $25 hamburger.
Uh-huh.
But I sold something big while we were in there. I had my old crappy smartphone. I hear this ka-ching. I'm like, what? We sold it paid for our whole meal. It was
Yeah,
awesome.
they pay for a $100 Rainforest meal.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's true, they're expensive.
But you do
Bridget.
get to look at animatronic elephants while you're in there, so I guess it's worth it.
Yeah, there's like monkeys swinging on the vine and stuff. Oh, they had all those aquariums in the wall.
Yeah,
Those are
it was
cool.
cool.
Bridget, some friends of mine had to go. A friend of mine had to go to Japan for business, and his wife went with him, and they went to Disney Tokyo.
Mhm.
And he said he sent me a text message. He says, "Oh my God, I have no problems about throwing my food in the floor right here and eating." And I'm like,
Oh, yeah. I
"What
heard
the
it.
hell are you talking? What are you talking about?" He said, "Oh my God, I have never seen such clean floors in my life." And then when he got back and I was talking to him about it, he said that they had one person that swept, and right behind them was another person that was mopping, and then another person was right behind them, like dry mopping. And he said there was none of these caution wet floor signs anywhere. By the time the three of them went, it was perfectly dry.
Well, I'll
But he said
tell you
it was
something.
the cleanest place. And he said, and if you said something to one of the staff in English, they would reply to you in English. And
I'll tell
he said,
you. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, I'll tell you. This is not really Disney, but on standards of cleanliness. When I was right out of high school, I worked at a canning factory for a couple of summers, and it was owned by Chiquita Banana. Anyway, they had a contract for these Japanese corn producers where they would ship this corn over to Japan, like canned corn. Except the Japanese would send over their own inspectors, because this is the scary part, because Japanese standards for food cleanliness is so much higher than American standards that they'd have to send over their own inspectors to make sure the corn was good enough to be imported into Japan, which is scary to me. But anyway.
Wow.
They were just
Yeah, and I
amazed
will
by
tell you, I ate the corn, and it is better than the U.S. sold corn. I don't know why. It's crispier. The water is like real clear when you open up the canned corn and stuff. It was better corn.
because Americans are on the go all the time. You know, they got to go. They don't care what they're eating.
Do they even
can
sell that
They can eat
here?
Probably not.
The only reason I got it is because I worked at the canning factory. They were letting us, the canning people could buy, like let's say when you have the cans of corn, they come in a case. Let's say one of the cans got dented. One of the cans, the whole box is rejected by Japan. So they were letting the warehouse workers, if you wanted to buy them, you could have them, and you could buy them real cheap or whatever. But you could have, 40 cans in that case, and all 39 are okay, except for one got dented, but that was enough to ban the whole case from being able to come into Japan. That's how high their standards are for food.
Wow.
It's amazing, yeah.
So that's on our bucket list to go to Japan, South Korea.
Yeah,
Not
but I
for-
Brandon
don't
wants to go
want-
to Japan really bad.
Honestly, now that I'm older, I really don't care to go overseas. But if I did, I would go to Italy, or Australia. But I really don't have any want to go over there anymore because it's just everywhere is nuts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't.
I would like to see Europe. I would not all of Europe. What I would really like to go see is Germany.
Yeah.
Das ist gut.
Yeah, you know those crazy Italians and
Oh,
the
yeah, we
people
know all
that came
about
from that heritage, they're all just nuts.
We talk going all the time. We know all about those crazy.
No, but you hear all this goofy stuff going on around over there, and I just don't choose to go over there. I just stay home.
See,
But
I've always
I like going to steam shows. I like going camping. You know.
I've always wanted to go to Egypt. And if
Yeah,
somebody said right now, if somebody said to me right now, do you want to go? I'm picking up the price for the whole shebang. Do you want to go? I would say hell yes. I'll just wear a bulletproof jacket because it's just because it's not. I'm not going to be around forever. You know, I'm getting up there with Todd. We've got limited days left in our.
Nice. I'm sure Todd appreciates that.
And you know, you just gotta hope for the best.
Yeah.
Yes, to see like the pyramids and stuff, I would agree that would be really neat to be able to go see.
And that's all I want to do. I want to go. I want to see the pyramids and the Sphinx, and there's a couple of other temples I'd like to see, and then after that, I'm pretty much done.
Yeah.
You kind of look like an Egyptian god, Tom.
I am the god of all of that and more.
He's the southern Egyptian god.
Yeah.
He looks. What's that guy's name? Yeah, Tom. That's what he looks like.
I ordered a
But you-
Culver's Bacon Deluxe, and they didn't even put any veggies on it. Bunch of bricks.
Oh boy.
You know, we've traveled because of having fun, you know, for vacation, and we traveled to get our boys when we adopted them.
Yeah.
And there was risk every time we went someplace.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just got to cowboy up, set some spurs, and get on into the daggone rodeo, you know? Because if not, you're going to sit. People are going to sit at home. I mean, I know people that they won't go to Disney World, not because of the crowds or the expense. Because hell, they got enough money they probably could rent the place for a day. It's because somebody might set off a dirty bomb or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, well, that could happen right here in Charlotte.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just gotta like.
I don't know. To me, I would rather see our own country before I go over to other people's countries to see. I would absolutely love to go to fishing in Alaska. That would be fun.
Yeah, they got some good salmon too. I mean, it's good.
Yes, our friend of a family lives. He's like one of my dad's best friends. He lives up in Alaska, and he actually knows the Kilcher family. And when he came down here on Alaska, the last frontier. Last summer he came down. Well, he comes down every summer. He gave us some canned salmon. They put it in a jar. Oh my God. It was so good. I can't even tell you how good. I mean, oh my God, my mouth just waters thinking about it. And the regular salmon like we eat down here, no, that's dog food to them.
No.
You know.
I had a chance. My buddy's wife had family in Alaska because you got to have a hookup. You got to have a connection up there. You get up there and do the salmon fishing. You know, they're harvesting they'll take like 50 salmon on a day. So they're like, yeah, we'll take you with. Well, of course, before the salmon season comes, they get divorced. So now I can't go with because it's weird because I was friends with him and not really that much with her, so didn't work out. So I never got to do my Alaska trip. And I was in between wives. I was divorced. So I could have totally done it.
In between.
That's what you're doing right now.
Yeah, this guy
I'd
that
let
we
you
know,
do it.
his son has a charter boat. So he'd have the total hookup and everything. And he's like, yeah, come on up and stay, you know.
Mhm.
So we've been thinking about it.
You should.
Yeah, they gave me some. They gave me. Well, there wasn't some. They gave me like a cooler of salmon that was frozen. I mean, so it wasn't. I mean, but it was so good frozen. I mean, I can imagine what it was like when it was fresh.
I would so love to get there. They just don't realize how lucky they are. They just go out in their boat and catch whatever the hell they want.
Yeah.
Oh, you might get eaten by bears, though.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons you can't go do stuff without a guide, because otherwise they're afraid you're going to get eaten by a bear.
And I'm gonna tell you what, all of this goodness right here, those bears would say, "Ooh, buffet."
Oh my God, I wanted to do that Northwest Passage tour, but it's so damn expensive. I don't think I'll ever do it. They do it where they follow like where they think the Franklin expedition route went, you know, and they show you like the graves and stuff that they found in that, but it's like, I don't know, $14,000 per person on the ship. You know, it's really expensive.
Yeah, and those English guys didn't make it, but you probably will. So I mean, you're going to die of something, so you might as well do it on an adventure.
Yeah.
Just don't eat any of the stuff that comes out of cans.
I went to a presentation for this travel agency that used to be in Charlotte, and they did like exotic trips, like, you know, hiking the Peruvian mountains and going up the Amazon River, and there was one where you rode camels across the desert from like Marrakesh to, I don't know. I don't remember where it ended. But anyway, for about a week or 7 days, you rode camels. And when you got to where you were supposed to be at for camp that night, they'd already would have set up your tents and all that kind of stuff. And it was like $40,000. I thought to myself, $40,000? I better have a lift to get me up onto that camel. And that tent better have AC, cable television,
internet.
Now, going up the Amazon River, I would like to do that too. But I'm telling you, young people, don't keep saying, I want to do such and such. You need to do it, because one of these days, I had a good friend that sat down in his chair after work one day. He was 43 years old. And he died.
Yeah.
You don't know when your time is going to be up. So don't say I'm going to do it one day.
Right.
Especially if it's something that you really want to do. Besides going to Disney World 3 times a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't want to die with dysentery in the Amazon.
No.
That's not my picture dream of a death, but
I don't understand those people that go to places like that, like the Amazon and stuff, and then they're like, "Oh, I got some kind of disease." Well, look at what you did. You went to the Amazon.
Where did you get this disease from, Tom? While I was exploring the Amazon.
Yeah.
You know? Oh, cool. You're dying, but oh, cool.
My dream death is just to be standing on the 9th tee at some nice golf course and hit a perfect drive and then just fall over dead from a heart attack.
Oh, Lord.
Okay. That's something to look forward to.
Playing golf is death itself.
Todd's dreaming of his perfect death, which I find disturbing, but anyway.
Well, I mean, when you get my age, you don't want to just waste away in some rest home in Sunnyvale.
Wait a minute, Todd.
Yeah.
With a cemetery right across the street, you know.
Yeah.
Jim, do you play golf?
I want to go to sleep when I die.
Jim, do you play golf?
No.
No.
I want to know about the perfect death, though.
It would be Todd playing golf after a Perfect drive or whatever. He just drops dead.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be an escort in a motel room in Reno.
Yeah, like that guy on what's that golf movie with the funny one with
Happy Gilmore.
Caddyshack.
Oh, Caddyshack.
Oh, that one. Oh yeah, I like that.
The
Yeah,
priest
like
is
the
having a
priest.
perfect game, and then God just strikes him dead before he can finish with a bolt of lightning from the sky. That's how I want to go out.
No, he cursed God. Remember, he missed
Yeah.
that. He's having a perfect
Oh.
game, and the ball misses the hole, and he raises his club and he curses God, and God strikes him with lightning.
He he looks up to the sky and I think he says GDU.
Yeah.
And that's when God hits him with a bolt of lightning.
That's how I want to die. You know. That's...
The best golfing movie though is The Legend of Bagger Vance.
Yeah,
That's
that's
a
good.
one.
Mm-hmm.
Because his talking, he should have got an Oscar for that part. It didn't even do good at the box office.
Really?
Yeah, it didn't do good
I've
at the
watched
box
that
office.
got a lot.
I had to too.
That has something to do with Robert Redford.
He was a director.
Okay.
But
It was after The Horse Whisperer, I think.
All right, double no.
What
Will
movie was it?
Smith.
Legend of Bagger Vance.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
It's got Will Smith as the caddy, and then it has Matt Damon as the World War I veteran that kind of lost his stroke, and they're doing like this Depression or whatever era. They're doing this golf tournament thing.
And the two people he plays that he plays against are
Bobby
actually
Jones.
they're actually world champion golfers. I mean, they're portraying.
I can't remember, or you brought him in. Yeah, it's Bobby Jones and I forget what the other guy's name is, but they're based off real golfers.
Right. And you know the one that was a womanizer? Where he puts the ball up into her breast?
Yeah.
He was supposed to have been really like that.
Oh, really?
Boy, it's a good thing he's not around now, or damn, they'd go back and take his trophies. But like I said, y'all need to pick out a spot that you really want to go to, and you need to do it.
I agree.
You just need to start selling stuff until you can reach that goal.
Sarah, did you see that neat little gadget my husband made me?
Yeah, I saw pictures of it, but I see it's already being marketed. So you didn't get the patent on it.
Yeah, something like it is being marketed, yeah. But I was looking at the ones that are being marketed, and those are like really small, where this one is like, I don't have to really grip it hard like them other ones are. This one's a little bigger. But it doesn't just like fit on your keychain, you know.
You really can use leverage on it.
Well, I don't need to. It's just completely effortless.
Well, that's what I meant, you know.
Yeah. I don't have to sit here and waste diesel all day running my truck all day because I can't start my damn truck. He was also he told my daughter last night when he was making, he's like, we gotta make this thing for Mom because, first of all, she cries when she starts the truck because it hurts. And second of all, she's using pliers on my truck and scratching, chewing the hell out of my keyholes. He goes, pissing me off. But I can't yell at her because it's not her fault.
Nikki, if it's so painful, why didn't you stay at home?
Because I gotta bring my daughter to work.
Do y'all have Uber up there?
She lives quite a ways away from her job, so it costs her a fortune.
We'll get her a bicycle. She just needs to leave early.
She's getting a bonus at work, and
the tranny went out on?
Huh?
Is her car the one the transmission went out on?
No, that was my car.
Oh.
She's actually gonna buy a used car, new to her. She's getting a bonus at work soon. I don't remember when, but as soon as she gets that bonus, she's gonna go put a down payment on a car and be an adult and have a car payment. She's like, but Mom, you always taught me not to have a car payment. I said, well, you know, if you have to, you have to. I said, you need a car. I said, car payments aren't terrible as long as you don't go crazy and buy the latest and greatest brand new car that costs you $80,000. I said, but if you're smart about it and you go and you buy a decent car that you need, that's going to get you where you need to go, a good car. I said, there's nothing wrong with having a payment because at least you know every month what you're going to pay. But when you're driving beaters and stuff that may not make it the whole month, then you're going to be paying a lot more than what your car payment probably would be. You know,
Aggravation.
Why didn't you have her look at the Wisconsin surplus auction? Because some of those government vehicles, I mean, are well maintained. I bought that Expedition. I paid $930 for it, and then you have a 15% commission. I think by the time I put the title and license and the commission, it cost me around $1,100 for that car.
Well, we're looking at that too. You know, we're looking at different auctions and stuff too. But she's got her heart set on this one car. I don't know exactly what she was talking to my husband about. I don't know what it is, but we'll see.
Well, if you're going to drive beaters,
if you were to ask Brandon, Jim Tar's Brandon, what kind of car he's going to get when he gets his permit, he probably throws his hands up and says, "God only knows." It could be,
you know what he wants?
Government surplus ice cream.
He's mad at me. I'm going to sell it. He likes that red conversion van, but I'm going to sell it. He's ticked at me for selling it. But I'm like, well, we'll get another van later.
Why don't we keep it?
This one's got the Wisconsin rust on it.
Yeah.
We'll do another one that's better.
Oh, did you sell your guys' van?
I'm going to after I get back after Christmas or whatever.
Oh.
I got to clean it out yet. I got to give it a vacuuming, and there's some stuff in it.
It was used to pull a big camper, and it's got some, it's getting tired.
Yeah.
I don't really want to take it all the way back down to Kentucky again if we don't have to.
Yeah.
That 70 miles an hour down the highway, it'll last forever, short tripping around town or driving like maybe, 2-3 hour trips or something. But, you gotta have a pretty healthy vehicle to be going 75 miles an hour down the expressway for, 6 hours.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's like why RV, everybody's like, oh, you go through a lot of vehicles. Well, first of all, I buy used vehicles. Second of all, I put on a lot of freaking miles in my vehicles.
Yes, you do.
People don't realize how many miles I put on my vehicles. And it's like, yeah, I go through vehicles pretty fast, but you don't understand how many miles I've put on that vehicle while I've had it, I would never be able to have like a lease.
She's put 100,000 miles on that truck and it's only sat in one place.
Just going to and from town, is 20 miles each way. So that's at least 40 to 45 miles I'm doing every single day. At least Monday.
If you're going to drive, I mean, like your daughter's situation, if you're going to drive, cars that got 100,000 plus miles on them, for one thing, you need two. Because like you said, you never know when one's going to have a problem. Then at least when it's laid up, you can use the other one. So you need a pair. You can't just have one car that's got, because that one's done. When that one blows its alternator, its starter, whatever it's going to do because of its age, it's going to do that. You should expect that. It's like a car payment. But you need a backup vehicle while you're waiting for the part for that, and somebody has got to be able to fix it for you, like family, not you take it to a mechanic. Because if you're constantly taking it to a mechanic, you're right. You might as well go buy a Dodge or something with a 5-year warranty or something.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be out the same amount of money if you're paying somebody else to fix it.
Yep.
I learned how to fix cars because, I couldn't afford to pay nobody to fix it for me, so I just had to learn. It was either that or I was on the Shoelace Express.
I think that's why my husband's kind of pushing her to get a car payment, to buy a decent car, because he's tired of fixing everybody's cars. I mean, everybody calls Gary when they need something fixed, and he's getting tired of just doing it for everybody, I mean, he's just constantly fixing people's stuff,
Well, what you do is you set a date and a time hard. Like, I'm going to be there to fix your car that day, and then don't show up. And then do that like 3 or 4 times to them, and they'll go find somebody else to fix it for them.
Yeah. No, they won't.
Shake hands on it, look them right in the eye, and say, yep, I'll be there 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. Then don't show up.
Yeah. That's
You remember when Kia first came to the United States,
Yeah.
They back then they had like 100,000-mile warranty on their vehicles.
Yeah.
Cadillacs
Wow.
didn't even have them on it. My neighbor has got one. It's got the minivan from the first year. That sucker's got like 300,000 miles on it. It's got the same engine, same alternator, everything on that thing. And you know, it's because they don't want to be fixing everything on it. Because 100,000 miles can be some rough miles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to know what to look for. I mean, that's why, you know, you don't wind up on the side of the highway, because when something starts making a noise, you got to get out of the car and investigate it and find out what that noise is and give that. Usually your car gives you a warning. You know, it's when you ignore it, like the car's doing something different and you just ignore it. Now, next thing you know, you're on the side of the expressway. As soon as it starts doing something weird, you look into it, and, you know, 90% of the time you'll prevent your downtime, because you'll find the problem in the driveway. With that said, if you're going to fix it yourself, you may not be able to fix it right away. That's why you need the backup vehicle.
Yeah. Well, that's like,
No,
I mean, we would never be able to go and buy this truck brand new. You know, we had to buy it used. We flew down to Texas and bought it just because everything's up here is so rusty, you know. My nephew has a brand new diesel pusher like this. His is the Power Stroke or whatever it's called. And yeah, I mean, he spent what, 70,000 on that stupid truck or something like that, you know?
Yeah.
And I mean, that's just crazy to me, you know?
My friend has a 1-ton Ford. Well, they paid it off now. 1-ton Ford Dually diesel. Beautiful truck. I think they paid, I don't know, 84,000 for it, and their monthly payment was like $900 a month. I just am not going to make that kind of car payment. No way. My diesel Dually is an older one. I paid for it cash, and right now it's over at the shop getting new heads put on it. But it's what's going to happen when you buy one that you can buy cash and it's older.
Yeah. Oh,
But Tara's going to have to get her a new truck though, because where she's living at and with the people she's going to be associating with, she's going to have to go get her a new Ranger 150 loaded to the daggum gills, you know.
What the hell? 50 Tom.
150?
What am I going to do?
You mean like a golf cart for Brandon?
A half-ton truck?
If you got a 250,
when she drives,
you may be entering the club. You got to have at least a 350 or 35 or 3500 HD. Yeah, you got to have.
No, I'm talking about
1-ton minimum.
When she goes over to
knock the books out of your hands.
I'm talking about when she's getting all dressed up, got her posh frock on. She's going over to have tea with Mary Sue and the other ladies. You know,
I won't do that, and I'll be driving my Dually truck. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Mary Sue will have one too. All these girls up here have rodeo belt buckles. They're tough.
My sister-in-law, my niece, the one that has all the horses. She's got a truck. My dad was going to take her out to some dealers he buys his vehicle from and try to work out a deal for her, and because he'll buy 20 in a year. And he said, "What kind of car do you want?" And she said, "Pop. The smallest I'll take is a 150 Ford F-150. It does not have to have 4-wheel drive. It doesn't have to have the back seat. I just need to be able to put kennels and bags of dog food in the back of it."
Mm-hmm. And I got a Chevy 3/4 ton gas that when I bought, I did have a car payment on that, which is paid off. When I bought that, the only reason I have the gas is because it was $20,000, and for me to buy the same truck used in the diesel at that time, it would cost $30,000. So I went with the gas, and now I have that diesel 1-ton Dually.
Yeah.
And now we have the Power Stroke in the moving truck. We got 7.3 Power Stroke in the moving truck and a 6.5 in the 3500.
I told my husband, I said, "Great idea buying a damn diesel." I said, "Now gas is down to $1.95 and we're still paying $3.30.
Well, stay at home.
What?
And quit burning so much gas.
Our diesel is $2.92 in Eagle River. Yeah, they're screwing
Oh.
you. But you know, they're doing it in Rhinelander too. We're the south of us,
A half hour south of
which
us.
is usually about 10 cents cheaper than us. Yeah, they got their
Yeah.
diesel at $2.20. I pulled in there last night because I was on fumes. I put $20 in that moving truck. I'm going to fill it up here. It's only $2.92. I'm like, that's what, 28 cents a gallon? 28 cents difference.
Wow.
They're robbing those people in Rhinelander.
Well, I will say probably. Now I'm not being a smart ass. Probably a diesel truck ain't probably a great everyday driver.
No,
though.
but it gets the diesel
Yeah.
gets better mileage than a gas
Yeah.
engine does. So you got to calculate that in.
Because I mean, she's got a real nice Texas truck. I mean, I'd be trying to keep it off the road salt more, so I would definitely would have wanted another like crappier truck to get eaten up with road salt. Because like my poor 3/4 ton Chevy, because I drove it on road salt. I mean, it was a nice truck. I feel real bad for it, but I mean, it's really the frame's all rusted up. It's getting rust around the gas filler thing and everything. The poor bastards really.
It's
The
gonna haul
Wisconsin
firewood
salt
around the property.
is killed it.
Yeah.
The only reason I keep it is the last truck that me and my uncle bought. I mean, I probably shouldn't even move it to Kentucky with me. And I think when we move it to Kentucky, it's just going to be a pasture truck, like hauling firewood around or whatever. Fence post.
Jim, a boy in high school, a boy that went to school with me in high school. He had a Triumph Spitfire with a 3-cylinder diesel in it.
Oh,
No, it was a
a car,
little
Triumph
sports
car.
the little sports car. It had a 3-cylinder straight diesel in it. His dad decided that he was burning. Well, the engine was the original engine in it, and it blew up one night. We were where we weren't supposed to be. We were headed back to his house, and the engine locked up on it. And his dad had to come get us at 3 o'clock in the morning. We were also 2 hours behind curfew. He had to come get us. So the engine for that thing was going to be about as much as a new car. So he went and got a Ford 3-cylinder engine from someplace and mounted that sucker into it. It sounded like hell, but it would fly. Because it rattled up a storm.
Oh, Sally's having trouble with her sound again.
Oh.
She's gonna restart.
Has anybody sold anything? Is there anybody with any points?
I don't think so. I don't know. I haven't heard.
Oh, is it is it that kind of listing challenge, or is it just a working hangout?
No, it's a listing challenge.
Oh,
Where you been, Tara?
I don't know. I thought it was like a working hangout. I wasn't thinking.
She's going to try restart, so. But you know, automobiles should not cost what they cost.
No. Diesel shouldn't cost what it costs either, because it's the freaking garbage of gas.
Yeah. But my parents had their diesel pusher motorhome. My mom, after
a listing challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the title says.
Have you sold anything?
Huh?
Have you sold anything?
No, I've only made like 5 listings today, so I'm like, I didn't even know we were doing a listing challenge.
Yeah, today. Look at the title, listing challenge.
Well, it's not even Wednesday. Don't we do it on Wednesday?
It's a listing challenge Tuesday.
Oh, well, I guess I better pay my money. Okay. Who do I pay it to?
Sally.
When she gets back, I guess.
Okay. She's going to have to give me her link. I don't think I've ever paid Sally anything.
Sally, let me go look. You saved on my PayPal. Hold on.
Tara, you're going to be convenient to like the post office and that type of.
Yeah, I mean, we're only like 12 minutes to town, so the post office, it's pretty close. I mean, it's not as close as I live now, but it's pretty dang close.
Well, come on.
Tap it in the side chat, please, Nikki, so I can.
I can't do the side chat.
Oh
on
my
phone.
god!
Oh my god! Sorry. My phone ain't even freaking loading here. Just shut my Wi-Fi off.
Want me to do this for you or no?
Yeah.
All right, send money, friends and family. Sally, it is Sally.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's we'll just do oh, it shows me Sally. It just shows me her.
Oh, here it's in the it's in the chat on the YouTube stream. Jennifer put it in.
Oh, thank you.
In the YouTube.
Oh, here it is. Sally Nasser, NASSER 33 at live.com.
I don't see it.
Yes.
One more time.
Here. Sally, SALLY. N as in Nancy. A as in Apple. S as in Sam. S as in Sam. E as in elephant. R as in Robert. 33. You got that?
Yeah, I'm writing it down.
At live.com. Well, I don't know if you know how to spell her last name. Sorry.
Oh my god.
It's too late now.
It's too late.
Too much for Todd.
No.
I'm giving somebody a free $2 because I ain't gonna win this challenge.
You only got 2 hours and 23 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it goes till 4 or something.
You might as well just go back to bed, Todd. There's no use in even trying.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm a good sport though. I pay my $2.
Yeah. Donate it.
Let's see. How do you spell PayPal? Let's see.
Tara, tell Todd your joke about the $2.
I've already told it, I think. What did the deer say when it left the woods? That's the last time I'll do that for $2.
Last time I'll do that for $2.
Badumba.
I don't.
Oh, we just took a delivery.
Man, I wish I could spend my PayPal balance, but I'm waiting on my big ticket customer to decide whether it's time to return or not.
Yeah.
Has he got it?
Suck.
Yeah, it's been delivered, so